Hi guys, can you hear me? Hi Mark. Okay, first off, how you guys doing? And tell me a bit, about you guys. Where are you guys from? Okay, I know that Mark is from Las Vegas. Was just there. Okay. Ronnie. Yeah. Hmm. You gotta get one of those magic screen, you know. That'll probably help. Okay, I don't know what's happening now. My chat doesn't work. Why is my chat not working? Oh my good lord! Can't be possibly going through this all the time, can I? Okay. Okay, now it's working. Finally. Honduras. Wow. Who's from Honduras? Let me see. Danny. Central America. Wow, cool. Hola. Uh, I'm from Singapore. Um, Southeast Asia, Singapore. Not part of China though, Singapore. You're from Madrid. Okay, great. I always wanted to visit Spain. Yeah. And a couple of new guys. Hi Romeo, you're from Germany. Ukraine. Wow. Okay, Jan, I can hear you can tell me what kind of cheap replacement startup pickups you consider the best. Cheap ones, Actually, these days the single coil pickups they are available. You know, they're not that expensive. Or we're talking about like maybe about what $100, $100 to $150, or maybe like even less than that. You can probably get quite a good set of stereo cassette pickups. You have to search the that, okay? Because I don't actually change a whole lot of pickups except for my Harley Bentons, which I will only choose from Seymour Duncan's, and they'll set me back like about $200 over dollars a set, 200, 250. Most of the time, I would stick to the stock ones, like these pickups from no, these are Comanche. This is Comanche from G&L. These pickups are like stock. I will never change them. Hi Dennis. Hi. How you guys doing? Okay, Keith, you're from Florida. Yes, I remember you. I remember you. Can you guys hear the guitar which I was playing just now? Can you all hear it clear in the beginning? Wow. I'm glad someone's practicing. Okay. Cool. Okay. As long as you guys can hear the guitar, I'm happy. All right. Can post your questions. You just keep them coming. Some of the Roswell pickups are okay, but I find that their single coil for the back pickup is a bit weak. It's not really weak. It's just that it breaks up in a way that I didn't like it. The single coil from Roswell, but I'm sure they have many how should we call many classes of single coil pickups from Roswell too. So check out their website. They have a website from Roswell, and they actually give you a choice of many pickups to choose from. Yeah. Hi, Gwenta. Yes, I'm fine. Thank you. Okay, nickel or stainless steel. That's always been a argument for many people. For me, I would go for stainless steel because people say that stainless steels are the stainless steel frets are a bit brighter. But for me, I don't think that's really much of a problem because it's just minutely brighter. That's it, So not a big problem. Hi Ian, how are you? Hi Alvin. Okay, the gangs are here. Morning Todd. Hi. My favorite guitarist. Today I'm going to change to Jay Graydon. The other day I was saying that my favorite guitarist was Steve Lukather. Still is. The other favorite guitarist is Jay Graydon. And if you ask me another day, I will tell you Michael Landau. So it's between this couple of guys, Active versus passive pickups. When will you use them? Kendrick. Welcome. Haven't seen you before, have I? I don't know. Okay. I use passive pickups because of the tonal quality. Right, the tonal quality. Like again, this Comanche, this Z coils are passive. They're not active at all. They're just a different design from the old Fender. The main aim is to cut down 60 cycle hum from electric source. The only drawback between passive and active is that the passive pickups will tend to generate more noise, 60 cycle hum and all that. But the better, people like the sound of a passive pickup. Let me rephrase that. People like the original pickups that are in their guitars, and if they buy a guitar at Strat, they will love the sound of say a 59 Strat or one of the old ones. They like the sound, but unfortunately they have to live with that 60 cycle hum. The active pickups have a place in the world. Active pickups are mostly used by guys like me who need to record in a quiet environment, meaning guys like us who are doing sessions for CDs, for albums and stuff, where we cannot afford in the middle of the quiet passage. Of course we can mute it, but it's just not the same. You can always put like noise gate and all that. Again, it's not the same because noise gates tend to kind of like dissolve your notes in an unnatural way. So we would always opt for active pickups, but there are so many types of active pickups. EMG alone has so many models for you to choose from. So these days the active pickups from EMGs are really, really good, meaning they don't lose the tonal quality as much as the earlier active pickups did. We're talking about way back in the 80s, when they first came out with active pickups in the early 80s. And nowadays they kind of like managed to get around it by keeping them noiseless as active pickups, but yet having that tonal quality. So that's how I would use them. No, Ian, you're not late. You're just in time. This is open. Hi, Greg. Do you bring the beer? Yes, I'm talking to you, Gregory. Do you bring the beer? No, you didn't, right? Okay. Okay. Who did I miss? Chuck. Hi, Chucky. I'm doing fine, Chuck. Well, the day started pretty nice. I had a good lunch. Had chicken rice. In case you guys don't know what is chicken rice, It's basically chicken and rice, right? But if you ever come here to Singapore, you must try chicken rice. Okay, it's the best. It's the best. You guys will love it. It tastes better with chili, but if you guys can't handle the chili, just lay off the chili. You still love it. I had chicken rice for lunch, and I taught a 2 lessons today. I ended around what 9:30. Yeah, I'm good. I'm well rested. Oh, I managed to catch up this hole. This is my Comanche. Remember there was this hole here, where the power supply from my tube amps kind of came crashing down. You can still see the dent, but I covered it up with black marker. So from far you can't really tell. That's the trick. Okay, black marker pen. Solve the problem every time. Right. Mark, favorite guitar string brand? Anything that don't cost a lot but still dependable? Diadero. Yeah. I like the Ernie balls. Ernie balls have really nice strings. I like the Earthwood strings for acoustic guitars. The GHS, not too bad. The GHS. I've started using the GHS recently, and I find they're pretty good. These are all strung with GHS. Feels good. Initially, it didn't feel right because somehow the way they make the core is a bit different from the Diaderos, which I'm so used to after so many years. It took me a while to get used to it, but now I'm already used to it, so they're pretty good. Stay in tune, everything cool. Okay. What's my favorite body size? I love the Strat. I love the fact that this is like a handle for me. I love the way it looks. It's so sexy. I love the way it sounds. Period. The other shape, of course, that I like is the 335, the semi-solid. That always gets me. Every time I see a 335, I go like, yeah. Alvin, do you think it matters what size neck you have, or do you just get used to whatever guitar you practice with? I was thinking about a U-neck, but they are hard to find. You can get custom necks off Walmart if you want to. I believe some Strats have U-necks, but you gotta find them. You're right. They're kind of rare these days because everybody's the manufacturers kind of cater to what customers mostly look for. Slim C, modern C, or whatever they call it, or a classic C. I'm actually used to any necks presented to me. I played in all my guitars here in this house have a variation of a variety of necks, neck shapes, and I'm actually quite used to all of them. Some guitars take a bit of getting used to. Like it took me a while to get used to my Tokai. That's a chunkier neck. There's like I don't know. It's like a D neck, a D-shaped neck, but it feels fine to me. Yes, Alvin, cool. Yes, Are you from Singapore, Alvin? If you are, well, it's pretty late. Thank you for keeping up, for staying up. If you are from Singapore, right? If you're from overseas, the Fishman Fluence. Yeah, I would love to try one. They're fantastic. I mean, that's technology for you, right? So yeah, I would love to try one. Well, one day, Okay, this might be techie thought. Okay, so my chorus pedals started having a horrible hum last night, but only when engaged. The signal is fine straight through. Is it time to replace? Are you going through a power supply? I believe so, right? Or are you running it through battery? Is it battery enabled? Are you able to put batteries in it? Okay, why I'm asking that? If you're hooked up to a power supply, say a 9-volt power supply, and if it hums when you turn it on, try taking out the power supply. If it's battery enabled, then put in a 9-volt battery and see whether it still hums. If it still hums, then the unit is shot, right? But if it's not humming, even when you're putting the battery, then something is wrong with the power supply. Maybe the power jack. It's all like you got to kind of like troubleshoot a little bit before you throw that thing away. chicken fried rice. Dennis, chicken fried rice and chicken rice are two different things. uh, Chicken rice in Singapore are generally called Hainanese chicken rice. Okay, so this is from a state in China called Hainan, and it's really nice. There's sesame oil, and there's certain things that you cook together with rice. So the rice is real fragrant, and the chicken is like steamed, soft and tender, really nice. Okay, with a bit of sauce. Oh, magnifico, magnifico. What is this? Danny, I got a Pacifica 611, which I tried one time with some Seymour Duncans and P90s on the neck. Yeah. The hum with overdrive is not that noisy, and the sound is so good. Yeah, that's right. Well, it depends on where you're playing. Okay. Like I said, many times in different environments, like your house, or say for example, in different stage, in different arenas or wherever you're playing, certain electrical environment may not be dude, what happened? Okay, may not be clean. You don't get a clean signal, a clean, not a clean signal, a clean electrical supply. So that's where all the harm starts coming in, and that's where you will suffer. But in most cases, like even when I try the 611 here, it's relatively quiet. And I have a whole house, an old house, right, old electrical system. But I changed my power supply to those noise cancelling and whatever circuitry they have. They're not cheap, but it helps a whole lot. Okay. You can hear clear urethane, CA glue, and even clear fingernail polish to build up to match the rest of your finish. Yeah, but I'm not really that kind of guy. It took out a whole chunk of wood actually. Yeah, it's like this looks like my knee when I fell. It took a chunk of meat out of my knee, so this took a chunk out of the wood. So I don't know. I could always send it to Wayne and see what he can do, but I'm thinking it's okay, it's okay. War scars, battle scars. Comanche is beautiful in every angle. Oh, you think so? It's pretty nice. One of my best purchase. Okay, one of the purchases that I will never regret. Look at that. Look at that flame right behind. Right. I'm waiting for a lock-in tuners. Ordered it half a year ago. Still not here. Printing now. God knows what happened. Put masking tape around the damage and sand smooth around it and sand smooth. What's this right? You know what, Dennis? I'll send a guitar to you. You seem to know what you're doing. So I'll probably send a guitar to you. You just do it for me. Just fix it for me. But I might not get it back, right? Right, Dennis? Ian, do you have a story about the guitar that got away? One you never bought. Most of us do, and I think they help crystallize what we were looking for in an instrument. Yes, I do, Ian. In fact, I actually this happened recently, but I got an alternative. I saw this G&L Blues Boy, which is in orange. Well, this is one of the I did explain it in the video, but in case you guys missed the video, this is one occasion when making a video about guitar reviews. This is some of the pitfalls, I played through so many guitars the past year and a half, right? So this guitar came with the courtesy of City Music, for the review. This is a Blues Boy, a Fullerton Deluxe Blues Boy. Not this one. It's almost the same, all right? It's almost the same. In fact, it's the same. It's the same model, same make, everything. In fact, I think it's the same year. Just that it has orange all around. And and a very nice Caribbean rosewood fretboard with, the grains, real nice grain. And I tried and played it, did a review. Was so happy with it, and well, done it, sent it back. And many days after, I was watching I watched my own videos just to kind of like critique, like maybe the camera angle, the lightings and stuff like that. And I hear and I heard how it sound like through the TV and the way it looked, and I go like, damn, I let that one get away. I should have bought it. I should just hold on to it. So after watching that video and making my mind up, I call up City Music and asking for that guitar. But unfortunately, it's been sold away. It's been sold away. So I was pretty sad. And they told me that was the last Blues Boy. I said, okay. And then a couple of days later, I went on to City Music and I saw this, right? This was hanging. And I said, hey, man, I thought you told me that everything was sold out. I said, no, I thought you wanted a tribute. No, I didn't want a tribute. I wanted an orange one. I said, yeah, that was sold out. So I thought you were asking the next available. So no, okay, whatever it is, they got all mixed up. So I got this one. All right. The Caribbean fretwood is not as nice as the orange one, but sounds the same. Still loving it, and kind of fell in love with this red hue thing. And it came with a white pickguard, just like the orange one. So I changed it to a tortoiseshell. Yeah, and this tortoiseshell came from G&L, so yeah, it's pretty cool of them to pass me this pickguard. Yeah, and I love this guitar so much. Hi, Alvin. Okay, you're from Singapore. Good, great. What case do you use for a Comanche when traveling to USA? Andrew Cordell. Andrew, for more detail, you probably want to check out this video where I shared about what I bring up for my tours. I actually use an SKB soft case like this. Can you see this? Oh, you can't see this. Anyway, I don't bring it up because it's kind of a hassle. So it's made of foam. It's not a hard case. You can actually sling it on. It's basically a soft hard case. The rest of it is filled with foam, like how a bicycle helmet, the same material, and it comes in many various sizes. So I bought one for a universal size, so it can fit a strap. So I used that, and I brought it over to the States. I've been using this case for almost 10 years, and nothing happened to my guitars. So it's to try and improve it. In fact, I think I prefer this case than a hard case. I have plenty of hard cases. The hard cases tend to be heavy, and when you're picking up the cases from the conveyor belt or from the bus onto the bus, there's so many times when you can twist your right hand wrist. I'm right-handed, so I carry my case on the right hand, and you can just twist because of the handle, and that gives you more opportunity to injure yourself. So I kind of like, screw it, I'm not going to injure myself and run the risk of injuring myself. So no more hard cases for me. Even my GS Mini has the same case, the SKBs. So look for it, right? Okay, all right, Todd. Hi, Kim. Oh no. Not only in Chinatown. There are many chicken rice all over Singapore, right? And they're not expensive, Stretch stuck. Hi there. How many amps you have in your man cave, and which one you prefer most? This is from City Music. This is on loan for a review, which I did. This is my amp, the Langy, and that's the only amp I have right here. I'm not a really amp guy, so I use this occasionally for recordings. Sometimes I just want an amp sound, right? Yeah. Don't have much space, you can see. Can't possibly put a Marshall 800 here, GC 800. No way. Right. Hi, Percy. Oh no, Chuck. Years ago, stage lighting played havoc with RF interference with single coil. Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, it does. I know sometimes it still do. They still play havoc with guitars, especially with those lights that are real near you. Sometimes they have that, but they're far in between. Nowadays, all the lights are coming from outside because they kind of finally realize that okay, putting too much lights on the stage isn't good for electric instruments. Took them a long while to figure that out. So nowadays, you have lights coming in from outside source, so it's good. It's all good. But again, you have, like I said, dirty electrical supply sometimes, and that's where the hum will probably resurface. Yeah, Chucky, like my ASAT, right? And that's a Blues Boy. Okay, FYI, that's a Blues Boy. Uh, Percy, do you know anything about how long is the coronavirus delay for shipment from Taiwan to the States? I don't know, Percy. My shipment has been delayed for so long. Canada just joined the list of countries that they're not shipping to from Germany, and Singapore is one of them. So I guess states fall into the category, in the same category. So as you all might know, Taiwan has a partnership with DHL. So you might want to check out with DHL website and see what they have there, what sort of information they have there regarding shipment to to the States or to any country. Mm. It may cost more for shipping than it's worth to you. Your friend will likely fix it the same way, but if you want to see, I'll be happy to help you out, brother. Oh, thank you, Dennis. I was just pulling your leg. Yeah, I decided to just leave it as it is. But thank you. Was the orange one tangerine metallic? No, no, no. It's just orange. It's pretty nice. I thought you saw that one, Greg. That was the one I was like raving about. I'm gonna put a link down below in case you guys want to see which guitar I'm talking about. The one that got away from me. Just hang on. I'm gonna give you a link pretty soon. All right, got it. Hang on.
Nick.
Okay, here you go. I'm gonna put a link down, right? There you go. So that's the guitar that got away. Yeah. Then I replaced it with this other Blues Boy. Hi, Rolly. How you doing? Are you good, Rolly? Joe McCarthy. Used to fly to Singapore a lot when I was younger. Very clear city, very clean city comparison to most others. Yes, yes, it's a fine city, as most people would say. It's a fine, clean city because you get fined if you litter in Singapore, and that implementation came in the 70s, 80s, probably around in the early 90s, where the government actually fine anyone who litters. They fine anyone who never flush a toilet. That's why it's called a fine city. But I guess that's the only way to indoctrinate your population to understand what is cleanliness all about. Say what you want, okay? Say what you want about Singapore. I love my country, and it worked, right? And yeah, we kind of like kept it clean, and we have a lot of help, foreign workers, domestic workers who kind of help clean up the mess and stuff like that. Yeah. Alvin, yes. I too am a professional musician. In your opinion, what do you think we'll get back? When will we get back? And do you have any bookings lined up? Alvin, I guess we're in the same boat. I do have bookings actually. I had to cancel or rather postpone 2 shows in the month of May. So I have another one up in September. But I am not too optimistic about it. I'm a pessimist by nature, so I don't think we'll be ready to. And this is Singapore, right? This September date is in RWS at Singapore Resort World. So I don't think that. I don't know. It might just happen. I don't know. September is still far away. We're in May now. Maybe June. That's where the end of lockdown is supposed to be. But I'm kind of like thinking that the lockdown will be extended. And you have July, and then you have August, and then September. So we're talking about 3-4 months more. No, I don't know, man. I really don't know, and I can't wait to start work. But I'm kind of blessed because I have other work. I have production work. So I kind of feel for the working musicians who have the dates being cancelled or the nightly gigs being postponed or cancelled. And after this whole thing, whether the clubs that used to hire these musicians are still there because they might have just gone out of business after so many months of inactivity. As far as concerts are concerned, because I do concerts mostly, there's no booking. I'm thinking there's no booking anywhere in all the casinos, in all the concert dates until next year. No agent would dare to book anything right now because it's so volatile. So the situation just keeps on changing. So the agents will have a hard time to guess. Okay, maybe January we can open up. If no, nobody knows that. It's hard. I feel for you. I'm in the same boat. But in the meantime, maybe you can think about other things to do. You know, I know a guy. I think he's a guitarist. But he used to play at night. He used to play nightly gigs, and he's now doing delivery of anything. Any delivery, and he's just doing it to just pass the day and get some income. So at least he's doing something, and my respect to him. Young guy too. Right? Hi Tim. Hi Tina. I heard about what Tim tried to pull on you. Bad boy. Okay, 925 chicken rice. Where is it, Alvin? Where is this? Where is this 925? Is it in Geylang or what? Dennis, I have a lot. My wife, I love my wife. She's a darling. Yeah. She never did complain. She only complains when my guitar overflow into the hall and being stacked up upon the dog's crate. So sometimes we have guitars coming in from the shop for review, and there's no place to stack up here or anywhere else. So we stacked up on top of we set the guitars on top of the dog's crate, and that's when she'll make noise. Where are you going to get the guitars away from the dog's crate? It's so dangerous. It might fall. Okay, no, it does. It won't fall. Apart from that, she seldom complains, and she's a darling. She loves me so much. She knows what I am. Right? Oh yeah, you think so, Chucky? You could get fined here in the U.S., but no one enforces it. Too much paperwork, I guess. Yep. I know jaywalking could get you a fine, especially in L.A. Right? Right. God bless Jonathan. Are you more of a solid body player or a semi-solid? I'm more of a solid body player, but I'm not impartial to semi-solid. I love semi-solid guitars, especially when they are well made. I'm trying to get my hands on the old Ibanez Artist. I forgot. Help me out here, guys, in case you guys know. It's an Ibanez Artist semi-solid. Really nice. I saw it like back in the late 80s. That's a nice guitar. Oh yeah. 5.5 million. 5.5 million. Dennis. That's the population. It's growing. It's gonna hit 6 million anytime. Does everyone live in multi-dwelling? No, there are a couple of guys who are living in semi-detached. We call it semi-detached townhouses. Or some of them, the more affluent ones, will stay in bungalows. Most of us will stay in flats, or you call it apartment blocks. Max from Austria, right? Welcome. Florida bearded fisherman. So you're from Florida, I guess. I have a Fender Stratocaster VG. What do you think of it? Um, I think it's a fine guitar. Well, I can't remember the last time I played on one. It's been a long time. My recollection was it had the one that I played is a VG. Is he has a thicker neck than most Fender Strat. I could be wrong, I could be wrong. But the one that I played on was white in color, I think. Anyway, they're fine. They're fine guitars. Hi, Harry. Yeah. Oh, you have? Ibanez make banjos. Interesting. Okay. All right. Alvin, who do you play for? Who do you play for? If you're playing a gig in RWS, who do you play for? All right, that is. Maybe I should get you to dub some banjo parts for me. I gave up playing the banjo because of the banjo roll, on this. It's so hard. You know. Hi, John. Guys, this is John Quack. In case you see his name, he's a great friend of mine. He's an engineer, a great arranger. I'm surprised he's awake at this time. Hi, John. How are you? So, okay, since you guys have started asking questions, I want to put a question to you guys. What do you think of what this whole thing about copyright strikes in YouTube? Like I'm so aware of this because when I first started making videos, and I was doing a whole lot of not a whole lot, some covers here and there, and I get copyright strikes all the time. And even when I'm doing like reviews of guitars and I'm playing to a backing track which I bought, I get copyright strikes, because somehow the company has sold the backing tracks, like as an album or as a instructional package, and I get copyright strikes on that because they are saying that I'm using their music. But I've been around music publishing for a while, so I know what their jurisdiction is at, because they can't possibly do anything because I'm not copying any melodies from anyone. All the melodies that I played from the backing tracks that I got from others are my own. So they have no way to say anything. So I always dispute all these cases. But covers that I did, I can understand. They can claim copyright from me because I'm using a song from Paul McCartney or a song from someone else, and they have the right to do it. The caveat, or rather the complaint that I have, is when they come to me about a copyright strike, they don't explain things clearly, like who is taking what percentage. I'm doing all the work here. I'm doing the cover versions, and it takes me hours. Like, for example, the last one I did, Take It Easy from Eagles, the last cover I did, which I thought was pretty good. But it took me a long time to do that, with the harmonies and everything. But what's the percentage? What sort of percentage are they getting from the monetization? It's not about the money, mind you. It's about the principle behind it. It's like I'm doing all the work and you're capitalizing on it without doing anything. And that's something that bugs me about this copyright strike in YouTube, because we have channels there everywhere who are trying to help people play, say, certain things like Hotel California or the licks, and they can't do it because they can't even play the original music on their video. Straight away you have a copyright strike, and if they're trying to be nasty, they can just shut down your video just like that. So what do you guys think? Yes, Sandeep? And they're real fast, I'm going to share with you something that happened. I did a song, Give Me Jesus, right? So The reason why I chose that song was because it's public domain, meaning nobody can claim any right to it. As soon as I make public that video, within what 1 minute, I had copyright strikes coming in from a whole bunch of companies, right? And these companies are claiming copyright because their artists have done a cover of this song, "Give Me Jesus," and I remind you again, it's public domain. Whole lot of copyright strikes. I was thinking like, okay, I'll just let it go, you know. But then I just kind of wise up and said, no, this is not right. In principle, this is not right. So I disputed it, and within 2 hours, they released all the copyright claims. Now, my thing is, if I'm a sort of person who is easily intimidated and easily scared and know nothing about this whole copyright thing, the rights that I have, I would probably just let them go, let them have it. And God knows how much percentage they're claiming. It could be 50, it could be 60, 40, me 40, 60. And they're not doing anything and just coming down and intimidate you and says that, no, this thing belongs to me, which in the first place, it does not belong to them because it's public domain, I say again. And it's robbery. It's so dishonest, it's not right. Bots, no bots, algorithm, whatever. YouTube should do something about this. YouTube must do something about it. But apparently nothing has been done. No one says anything. So something to raise up. I just kind of want to raise up this whole subject matter because you guys are in the same boat as me. Sometimes I want to learn something. And I can't do it because all these great channels that teaches people how to play certain things have all been shut down, and no one dare to do anything. Now, the thing about my channel is that I do all original stuff. But that defeats the purpose. Like, why? I mean, I can understand, like I said, if I'm doing a cover, yeah, certain percentage should go to the original publisher. I have no problem with that, But when I'm doing something, like I even got copyright strike from a song that I produced, all right? From an album that I produced. It gets really frustrating sometimes, right? Okay, I'm just rambling, so don't mind me. But I just want to know what you guys think. Right, Alvin. You take care. You take care. Are you leaving me now? Or what? Ian, you walk away from a 1964 Fender Strat. Oh my good lord. Well, I don't blame you. Sometimes I walk away from a lot of guitars that I couldn't afford at that time. So it happens. Hi, Christopher. Nova Scotia. Every time I hear Nova Scotia, it reminds me of the song by Carly Simon. You're so vain. Really crazy to me if you give a mention to original artists, then for them it is. Yeah, right, Rolly. I mean, come on. If I were to like give tribute to a great band, right? It should be for people to know. There are a lot of young people out there. Some of them might not even know who is CCR, for example, or who are the Bee Gees. And it's music education. This whole thing about music education, how history of music, it's gonna die because of things like that happening, where everybody is capitalizing, and these record companies and publishing firms are just making money off people and fleecing people straight. So because of this greed, you are depriving many people of music education, awareness of where this music is coming from. So it's really sad, but I understand there is the pro and cons and all that, but there must be a way to settle this. There must be a way to solve this. Either everyone is like too busy or just too lazy to think about a solution. God knows. Hi DCA31. I'm fine, thank you. Stardance. Do you own any Harley Benton guitars? I do. From Connecticut. The 12 string you reviewed last year, Gregory. Hi, Greg. I don't get you. Do I own any Harley Benton guitars? Yes, I do. I have a couple of Harley Benton guitars. Some of the Harley Benton guitars that I reviewed are not mine. Some belong to my friend Jeff, right? And other people. Yeah, Ian, it's sad. In my case, it's just sad because there's so many things that guys like Rick Beato and sites like this have to offer because we like Lee Scalar, for example. He had a YouTube channel right now. Great guy. Great bassist, phenomenal player, and he has so much history, 40 over years of playing, and many countless of studio albums, and he's sharing this, and sometimes he's playing certain things, and showing people what he did back then. And he get copyright strikes, and it's really frustrating. And here this guy, this kind gentleman, trying to share what was been done in the past. It's a piece of beautiful history, and they shut him down. So they didn't shut down the channel, right? They kind of like claim all these things, and I just think it's just sickening. Thank you, Fisherman. Alvin, I play for a band. You're called 53A. We work quite a lot with the US for the events. Also did a sting. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I'm sorry I haven't heard of the group 53A. But I'm sure it's good because if you're not good, you probably will be hired in places like that. Yeah, in places like that. Yeah. No, Gillette. I haven't seen that concert yet. Alvin, it's understandable, but it's a bit overboard out of control, and I think it's stifling creativity in many ways. In many ways, not in some ways, in many ways. Chuck, I think they have lost their minds over the copyright issues on YouTube. I'm old school. Imitation is the best flattery. Yes, exactly. Exactly. We imitate everyone. Like when we are babies, we imitate what our parents do. For crying out loud, we imitate everything. We imitate our friends in school. We imitate our role models, and that's how it all works. And yet they're stifling this. I don't know what they're thinking of, man. Also, I do not post any of my music on the internet because I don't want any of this service otherwise to claim it. Right? Well, you can don't allow them to claim it. I'm with Universal Publishing, but they don't claim anything that I put out on the internet. Do you own any Harley Bentons? Well, okay, there we go again. The copyright system on YouTube. Okay, I'm like going back. Why am I going back? Hi Johnny, how you doing? I seriously do not know Alessandra. I haven't been on Twitch. I never been on Twitch, so I don't know what is it like. Maybe I should go on Twitch one of these days. I don't know. I mean TikTok, whatever that is. Venomation, yes. Copyright system on YouTube really needs some work. It gets abused a lot, and that needs to change. Exactly, it needs to change fast. Yes, Johnny, you're missing the X. That's the business side, and to me, that's why musicians have managers to handle that part, so they can concentrate on what are the best at? Social media has opened the door to so many so fast. Yeah, like I said, Dennis, I can understand original music, um, the the right, like I write songs. I have songs published, and I still claim royalties, right? So my publishing firm protect my rights. They are claiming royalties, but they also have a cut in it. Don't forget, they're not doing pro bono. It's a business for them, but they protect my interests. I can understand that. I can understand that totally. But on YouTube, it's YouTube was I believe YouTube was formed to educate, you know, to educate and to share. But now, since this couple of years, this publishing firm has kind of like jump in like vouchers, because album sales are not doing well. In fact, album sales are the pits right now, and they jump in onto YouTube, to claim whatever they can claim, and you just grab whatever they can grab, and that's despicable, in my eyes, and I just don't know what to say. It's corporation in action. I don't mind. I really seriously don't mind if I do a cover. You want to take 50%, fine. I'm not in. Like I said, I'm not in it for the money, but let me know how much transparency. That's what we need. There's no transparency at all. And you know what the best part is? The best part is a clause in YouTube that says that if you dispute this, and the publishing firm do not agree to it, they have the right to continue claiming, or they have the right to shut down that video, to stop you from releasing that video, or they have the right to shut down your channel. Now, with a statement like this, it's like, hey, dude, it's like, wow, it's like going to a young boy and says, look, I'm gonna take your apple, okay? I'm gonna take your apple. If you say that this apple belongs to you, or you okay, this bully comes to the young boy and took his apple, and this young boy complained to the principal, and the principal says, okay, if it's if this bully says that this apple belongs to you, then you can have the apple back. But if he insists that this apple belongs to him, then he can keep the apple, and I'll kick you out of school. Okay, in short, that's as short I can make it. I'm not against YouTube, and like I said, I'm not against YouTube. I'm not even against a publishing firm, because I know a business has to do business, but do it in the right way, guys. Do it in the right way. Do it in an integral way, with integrity, with honesty. There's so little of this left in the world. Music is the last fortress standing, and if we are not honest in the music business, then we are gone. We're just gone. Okay, I'll stop rambling about this. But something to think about, you guys. Something to think about, and in the spare time, maybe you can write an email to YouTube to voice your discontent, or whatever. I don't know. Something needs to be done fast. Okay, Tony, COVID forced me to really spend a lot of time with my gear and really focus on getting the most out of each, as well as what stacks best with what's on my board. Time well spent, highly recommended. Yes, Tony. Nothing pleases me most than when I had like pedals, back in the days when I had pedals. Nothing pleased me most than doing maintenance for these pedals. Like, brushing off the dust, and if there's like beer stain or stuff like that, to clean it up, make sure the wirings are okay, and the some of the patch cables are old, time to change them. Great time spent, and very therapeutic too. Along with that comes the dark side, and people that will try anything they can to profit. Yes. Ian, Leland's channel is a wonderful history of modern music, Britain. Yeah, all right, yeah. Hello, Branch from Torino. Come stai? Ciao. Okay, live. Also, this madness of banning the teaching of all these songs result in the next generation not being able to play songs that make part of contemporary music. Exactly. You started it, you started the fire, and now you want to douse the fire. This whole thing has been going on for years in YouTube. People teaching one another, how to play this, how to get around this, and this. Some of the younger players have probably grown up watching YouTube and learning all the stuff that they learned from YouTube and becoming professional musicians these days. And you started the fire, and now you want to douse the fire. Crazy. Imagine they would have done this to classical music. A big part of history would have been lost, and music would not have evolved the way it did. Right, you said it. Rolly, back in the 60s, I had a mobile disco service and I had to pay a once a year royalty fee to be able to play records in public. Can they not do something like that for YouTube? We are even doing that in church. In the house of God, we are even doing that to the publishing firms of the many famous worship songs, from Hillsongs, from whatever you have out there. In church, we are paying royalties. So go figure. It's one way to do it, provided you're a channel that does a whole lot of this. But if you're a channel like me who occasionally do covers, I don't mind. Take a percentage of my this video if you want to get certain percentage, but tell me how much you're getting. Don't leave it blank. Like I said again, I repeat myself countless times, it's not about the money, it's about the principle behind it. Right? You're right, Ian. You're right. Adam Connor, what's your favorite Harley Benton guitar? Okay, many times I've been asked that question. It's a Fusion Pro TT, the one that looked like a Telecaster with a tremolo arm. That's my favorite. George Thompson. There are people creating non-copyright playlists that have copyrighted music in them. Smart. Hi, Thomas. Good morning. Smart. Hey, John, I noticed in the previous video that you had a Mesa Boogie V-Twin. What are your thoughts on it, and do you still use it? I had one for years and totally regret selling it. Well, if you saw it, there's nothing to talk about. I'm sorry, I have to say it. I can't help. I can fight the temptation to say, if you saw it, there's nothing, unless you're planning to buy a used one later on. If I were you, if I can find one, buy it. It's a piece of gear worth keeping. I don't use it often, but I'll break it out every now and then if I need a sound that's coming up from the amp. Right. Sometimes I have the tendency to kind of switch around instead of doing everything with the Helix Native, which is fine. I love the Helix Native, but sometimes I just want the joy of miking up my amp and having the V-Twin kicking, and running. It's a great feeling, and great sound, great sound. So if you can find another one, a used one, get hold of it if you have the funds, and don't let it go again. Keep it. You can always change the tubes inside. That if the tubes are short or old, you can always change the tubes. Yes. Yeah. I mean, we had to do something as members of this YouTube community. We have the right to do that. I mean, given the fact that some of us are content creators ourselves, we see this all happening to our community, and guys who are learning, they have a right to kind of like know what is happening, because all these things are like unbeknownst to a lot of people who just watch YouTube for entertainment. They do not know what goes on behind it, right? Hey, bye, Gwenta. Dennis, when you play gigs, do you ever play other people's work? I played in a band years ago, and we did a lot when I was a single act. I played Escape Ace. Yeah, we do, Dennis, we do. Well, not the band, but the club, right? So back in the days when we were playing in clubs, the club like any other clubs will pay a yearly royalty thing, to Compass or to whoever that is in Singapore, to ASCAP in America or whatever, But the clubs do that. The bands don't do that. Unless you're having a solo concert, and even then the promoters would do that, right? The one who bought the show, and part of the contractual agreement is that they will have to foot the bill of any covers that you might do. But that's the way it should be. Huh? Stardance, try to get change for $1 in the vest. Sahara does it. You can't. The all almighty buck, the set sign of the love of music. What a shame. Hello again, Greg. Hi, Greg. Well spoken. Alvin, do you use any flangers? I fancy a MXR 117, but the Joyo JF07 is more affordable and digital, not analog. I seldom kick in the flanger. I don't know. I just didn't quite like it. Well, I mean, certain for certain effects, it gets the job done. But back in the 80s, it was mostly the chorus, the boss chorus, the CE1 and the CE2, and then they had the tri-chorus. Those are my favorites. Delays and reverb, those are staples. Flanger and tremolo in certain songs. I think I use more tremolo than flanger. And phases are really nice. In fact, the fact is I prefer phases than flangers. Hi, Adriano. Alvin, I plugged my Helix into a recently purchased Hit-Rush Wolf FR speaker for practice at home. Have you ever tried FR? If yes, what are your thoughts on them? In order to get an FR, do you have a stereo setup, or just a mono? If you were to get a FR, I would advise you to get a pair of FR, and not too big, because you don't want to blow anyone else at the house. So something that is workable at home. And I don't think you need to use it on stage, because if you're playing places like RWS and MBS, they have front monitors for you, and that will work. The front monitors will work just fine. If you need a FR at home, I would advise getting a pair of small ones. Yeah. I don't have FR. I have a pair of a pair of studio speakers that has been with me for many years, and I'm using a pair of Audix. These are made in the States. One of the few that were made in the States. Walls of Jericho. Greetings from Germany. Do you have one guitar you always come back to, like a main guitar? This one. I always come back to this because the neck is so comfortable for me. I never had a maple neck before, or a maple fretboard, to say the least. But this was one of the few guitars that I'm so comfortable. I had another one, which is a Squire modified Telecaster, which has a maple neck and fretboard. But that neck was a bit too thin for me. It's really slim C. This is just nice. This is like a modern C, from G&L. And it's so comfortable, I always come back to this guitar. Hi Ninja, thank you. So Alvin, do you have a stereo pair of FR? And what's your band like? Do you have like singers? How many pieces? How big is your band? I'm just curious. Indulge in this old uncle. Johnny, what's that? I want to buy a new single cut guitar. I have a 98 Les Paul Studio, which was my first real guitar. Do you, single cut? Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I always thought that the best Les Pauls. Yeah, you know when you're talking about single cut guitars, I'll probably presume that you're talking about Les Pauls. Uh, get a classic, a Les Paul classic, because they're really easy to play. And I always believe that the ones before, maybe 2005, before that, 2006 or 7, guitars before that, you know, they're worth getting if you can find one that are used. But if you want to buy a new one, you can take a chance with the new 2020 Gibson range. And yeah, but you know what I would do? I would probably like check out the reviews. Hmm. Yeah, check. It does. That's why I love it. You know. Mm. Kemper or Helix? You're asking the wrong person, George. I'm a Helix fanboy. Helix. Yeah. Yeah. Hi. I presume you're. I can't. I do not know how to pronounce your name. Are you from Russia or from Ukraine? Do you have locking tuners on that guitar? No, I don't. I've said it. You know, this is like second time tonight. I ordered a pair of it. You know, a pair of locking tuners, but still not here yet. I don't know why. Hi, CC. How are you? No, Martin DC. No, I'm afraid not. Because I don't think they have it right now in the shop. In any case, yeah, I mean there are models there that you know that I can choose if I want to, but I don't think they have this. But I'll ask. I'll ask around. Alvin, I have a single one. Okay, Alvin. The reason why I ask you about whether you're having a mono setup or a stereo setup, because if you're using the Helix just like me, my next question is: do you go stereo when you're doing your gigs? And if you're not going stereo, why are you not going stereo? So try to get stereo patches like you know bi-ampings and stuff to happen so that you'll fill up a whole lot of space. And the reason why I ask you how big is your band, because if you're talking about a four-piece band, bass, drum, keyboard, and just you, then it's more feasible. I mean, it makes sense to fill up the sound of the band by going stereo, and everything sounds great in stereo. You probably know by now. So I don't know whether you're going stereo or not. So having a stereo set of FR at home will help you to tweak the sound before you go on stage. That's the reason why I ask you. There are 6 of you guys. 1 engineer and 5 musicians. 2 lead singer who play guitar and keyboard also. Yeah, cool. Go stereo, man. Rusher. Hi, George. How are you? Is it cold? Is it still cold in Russia? Which part of Russia? Where are you from? Steve. Hi, Jonathan. I like your Gmail. Did anyone ask you about what gauge of strings you use? Yes, all the time. I use 010s. I either use the Arderos or GHS. You know. Johnny. Thank you. The problem is that I'm a little afraid to spend some much more money on Reverb or eBay. Okay. But hey, man, if you're gonna buy a brand new one, it's gonna cost you even more than getting a used one. Hmm. Addicted to gear. Hi, how are you? Hey, I watch your channel every now and then. Great channel, man. Steve, what's your amp pedal setup in concerts? I use a Helix floorboard. Like I explained in my previous videos, I prefer the setup because it's easy to set up and easy to tear down. And there was one tour where I did like multiple shows in China, and we had this instrument supplier, right? And they travel with us, including the set of the concert. So they travel with us, all the equipment. So I left my Helix. Oh no, I was traveling with my X3 then, my Line 6 X3. Same principle. So I left my X3 with them, and everywhere, every venue that we go to, they would break it out for me. And it was such a privilege, to walk out on stage and having your your floorboard all set up for you, coffee by the side. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I stuck with a Helix floorboard instead of like getting like individual pedals and all that. It's fun, but at my age, I'm just thinking of convenience, and the lesser things I carry, the easier I tear down, the faster I go back to my room and sleep. Right? Bye, Smart. Um, yes, Steve. GHS 10s or DL Deros, whichever is available right here. I order my strings in boxes, so sometimes if I happen to go down to City Music because they carry GHS, I will just buy a box of them. Or if I go down to some other shops, I will just buy DL Deros. And sometimes I even order from Taman. You know. Surprise. Just watched your THR video and really like you and your playing. Oh, thank you so much. CC, okay. No, I'm afraid not. I was supposed to go to Canada at the end of the year in December. Like I said, I don't know what's happening. Whether it's a show, the show's still on because it's on the table, it's booked. But I have a feeling it won't happen this year. I have a feeling that this is going to be a quiet and a very lean year for me. So I was planning to get my GNL, or my new GNL Skyhawk, and the Kuma body and the roasted maple neck, but I guess I have to wait. That's a good one, Dennis. Alvin, I do use stereo when I play live. My engineer instructs me specifically too. So we play on IEMs and shows. Stereo is the only way to go. Yes. Wait until you get into my situation where I have another guitarist. You probably know who he is. It's Sebastian Ho. He's also going stereo. So we are stereo. So it gets a bit confusing for the engineers. Helix straight to the floorboard, to the FOH, yes. Well, yeah, and then a split to the in-ear monitors that we're using. We're using Avion, so we have always had a problem in the earlier days of using in-ear monitors because the Avions back then only had 16 tracks, and if I'm playing a concert with many instruments, like sometimes two keyboard player, two guitarists, bassist, drum. Sometimes you have the string section, and I probably run out of tracks. 16 is not enough, so they'll probably ask me to just do it mono. I say okay, why not? But I have to insist many a times to have my guitars come back to me on my EMs in stereo, and they'll share my acoustic guitar. So my acoustic guitar will be right in the center, and then I have my stereo Helix. So, yeah, 2 tracks for the price of 2 guitars. I think it's okay. And I like to hear things in stereo. I'm so used to doing that nowadays I can't actually play effectively with a mono setup. And it's bad. So I had mono patches in my Helix. I program it for emergencies. But now these days we have like the new Avions, which has 32 tracks, or 24. If I'm mistaken, I had 24. I think it's 24. So we have more than enough tracks, and I can go stereo. And sometimes my acoustic guitar has a separate track by its own, so it's pretty cool. Oh, and I sing, right? So sometimes I sing, so I have to share, maybe another additional track, or I share my vocals with my acoustic guitar because it's all in mono. Yeah. Yeah. But the reason why I have like a set of stereo stage monitors in front of me is because I want to hear how it sounds like through the air or through the ears, and I need to get that feedback coming back, that feedback coming back from the speaker into my guitar. So sometimes you need certain sound to have a little bit of feedback, controlled feedback. And I tend not to have the front monitors too loud because I know it can be a nightmare, a headache for the FOH. What kind of tuners did you order? Alvin, I ordered a GNL lock-in tuners. Funny thing is that GNL has their own tuners, in case you haven't noticed. So there's a different sort of screws or fittings that you need to do. So I just thought I'll just take. I can always get a pair of Spetzels or any other brand, Wilkinson's, but I didn't want to drill any more holes, so just buy the original stock. And I think it helps in the resale value if I ever sell this guitar, which I would never sell this guitar. Right? Chuck. Tim, when I play live, I mic a small amp. Do the standalone speaker towers have stereo capabilities? Standalone speaker towers. If I'm not mistaken, the THR has stereo, and some of the amps that I reviewed have stereo set up. You need to mic them out in stereo, and you need to mic them out because they're so in such a close proximity that you might have phase cancellation. So you gotta be really be careful how you mic them out. But the standalone speaker towers, I don't know. I haven't been near any one of those before. I think, have I? No, never. Sorry. Which guitarist influenced the most? New Sean, Larry Carlton, Lukather, and Larry Carlton and Jay Graydon. They influenced me the most. Wish I could play half as good as them. George, do you find the switch to in-ears weird? Or it was horrible for me. I was so old school that I'm so used to amps behind me and monitors in front of me. It was horrid. It was horrible. It took me a long time to get used to it. But I was glad that I found a good piece of in-ear monitors for me that is comfortable and accurate in many ways. So I was glad. And it was what was it? Westone. It was a Westone. Good Lord, what's the model? I forgot the model. Anyway, you find it in the video that I did about in-ear monitoring. It's there. And it was real comfortable for me. And currently, I'm now using a Shure 846, and that's great. That worked out fantastic for me. Very smart. Alvin, I've been guessing. Okay, that's a bad habit. Your mother ever tell you that guessing too much will make you go blind. But holding back because of the COVID. Yeah. Do you have any thing for the Luke 3 Music Man? Yes, I do. I really want one. I have the Luke 1, Luke 2. The Luke 3 has always been on my wish list. But when the thing that not really turned me off, made me kind of sit down and think about it was the fact that it has DiMarzio's in it. I'm not really a fan of DiMarzio pickups. I'm no quarrel with DiMarzio's. I was thinking, I was hoping that you would just stick to EMGs, but then it'll be the same design after all. So what's the special thing? So I think Music Man did a good thing by changing it to a DiMarzio humbucker. which I think is it splittable? I don't know whether you can split call. Interesting guitar, and it sounds great. I mean, Lukather can play any guitar; it'll sound great. So, yeah. Oh yeah, Chuck, I like it. I like it. I'm gonna ask the guys in Sweetie whether they have any of this in stock, and if I could lay my hands on one for the review. But I'm not, I'm just keeping my fingers crossed. I don't think they are able to do that for me at the current moment. What tremolo pedal do you prefer? The pulses. Uh, well, Alvin, the thing is, I don't even use pedals nowadays. Like I said, the tremolo that I have is from the Line 6, and they have a whole lot of tremolo systems there, tremolo pedals to choose from within Line 6 Helix. Let me just take a look. But they're very generic. They have a couple there, but they'll tell you like you have the pulse, or you have there's this one called the stutter and stuff like that. But there's no indication of what pedals they are emulating, or surprise. Do you ever use the Yamaha TH10s from your videos, or would you recommend something else? I have a TH10X and was thinking of selling it to get the newer version. Ooh, well, the only thing that I guess is an improvement from the old THR is probably the fact that you can actually run that Line 6 G10 transmitter off it. And other than that, the apps, the app that you can control whatever that is on the THR from your phone. But if you are happy with your THR, the old THR, and you don't have the need to do wireless, the wireless plug and everything, or a use of an app and everything, then why change it? If it ain't broke, why fix it? I think you'll be probably better off saving your money and getting a good tube amp. Really, seriously, get a good tube amp like this, the Vox, or get something from Black Star, or a Fender Deluxe, or a Fender DeVille. Yep. If you're really looking for an amp, but if you're looking for something that's small, then there are many brands out there. The only gripe that I have about the THR is that it's a tad overpriced. Yeah. Ah, okay, cool. So you want to get another one, then go for it. If you have the finances, you have the means to do it, then go for it. Yeah. Why not? So are you guys all done with the lockdown? Are you guys all like footloose and fancy free now? Like hanging out, hugging people and kissing people? Yes, Alvin, I've updated to 2.91. Okay, and yes, the Vi Legendary drive is nice. I don't actually use it because I tend to use the heavy distortion from the amp preamps. I like the Deity though. Deity drive is really nice. My favorite IRs are 3 Sigma. Yeah, I like them. They're pretty good. Yeah, so don't fall asleep on me now. Yeah, it's gonna be it's 2:30 right now. Okay. It's a lockdown finish for most of you guys in the States, in Florida, in Russia. Is there lockdown at all? Addicted to Gear, you're in Canada, if not mistaken. So is there any lockdown, or things are back to normal? Alvin. That's one of my favorite album. Footloose and Fancy Free. All right. Okay. I hear you, Dennis. I hear you, hee-haw. Hmm. Sorry, Adriano, no lockdown in Germany. Wow, things are slightly going back to normal. Even my son is going to school once a week right now. Wow, cool. Um, are the cases dropping, Adriano, in Germany? Or no cases in where you came from? In where you're from? Dennis, I know there are two major sides to this issue, but the fact remains, at least for us, that it's real and scary for us. Yeah, Dennis. Stay at home if you can. I think until a possible vaccine is it's available, I think we just have to take it real slow and not take chances. If you do need to go out, in public transport, maybe just take all the precautions that you need. In the Netherlands, the lockdown has been lessened. Yeah, last week the elementary schools went open and the hairdressers are open too. Cool. Yeah, I was teaching my my student in Holland yesterday night. Yesterday, and she was telling me that this kind of lesson, well, more relaxed in a way, and people are going back to offices and stuff like that. But social distancing is still is still practiced, so I guess people are taking more responsibility. Connecticut is still locked down. Oh, but I ride my bike on the rail trail and shop for food. Cool. 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 Right. What? I missed what? Alvin, you asked something. What mic and camera do you use for this channel? Well, I'm actually using a very normal cam. For a while there, I just blanked out. What's this? A cam? What? A webcam. This is a webcam from Logitech. Just run in the mill, or that can record or can project 1080, 180p. For the microphone, I'm actually using a USB mic. This is from Mackie. Yeah, it's one of the newer ones. Good mic. Oh yeah. Next month, everyone has to wear a non-medical mask when you want to use. Yeah. I mean, I am a bit confused as to well, probably because of the culture, the culture that that America has, and as opposed to Asian countries. People wearing masks in Japan is not a big problem. They've been wearing masks way before this COVID thing happened, because they have this social responsibility. Like, if I'm sick, if I flu, I'll wear masks when I travel the train to work. And in Taiwan it's the same thing. People wear masks all the time. The same. Taiwan and Japan has a sort of the same mindset. Given the fact that Taiwan was occupied by the Japanese for 50 years, right? So that's probably part of it. China too. Wearing masks is like a usual thing. Singapore, Singapore is a strange thing because initially a lot of us aren't used to wearing masks, but we didn't have any problem. We were still wearing masks, and it's not a big problem for us. But I noticed that when I go to the States, when I went to the States in February, and if we are wearing masks in public, people would just stare at us as if we were like, are we bank robbers or something like that? They will, they look at us funny, and I guess it's the culture. Maybe the culture in the States and maybe in the UK, you guys are not used to wearing masks. But you know what? It's vital. It's vital. Wear a mask when you go out. Better be safe than sorry. Adriano, I really don't get why people would still want to go out on vacation these times. We have been told we might see a vaccine by end of the year, maybe sooner. Hope that's true. Who told you this? There's a whole lot of stuff going around, Dennis. I've given up. I do not know who to believe anymore. But at times like this, I would rather listen to a scientist or doctor than any of the politicians. And like I said, I don't want to go into politics. This is not a political channel, right? So don't take offense at me. Don't take offense of the fact that I'm discussing all this, because I'm just concerned about you guys. And I know it's hard. I know it's hard to stay at home. Guys like Elvin, and Elvin, I'm guessing you are pretty young. Yeah, maybe in the early 30s, late 20s. So guys at that age, will probably have a hard time staying at home whole day, whole week, whole month. Yeah, it takes a toll here psychologically. Yeah, I can understand that. But the danger out there is real. People are dying. People are actually dying. So just give some thought in that. Dennis. There are many medical teams working on it. I believe Canada and China has a team working on one, and they are saying that it's pretty. It's gonna be pretty soon that they will have a vaccine to test out. So we can only keep our fingers crossed, right? I just hope this thing will be over soon. For many reasons. Okay, this is the second topic that I want to discuss. The first topic was, of course, the copyright strikes in YouTube. My question to you is, what do you think of the music industry after this COVID thing? Do you think it can survive this onslaught of inactivity for many months? And God knows when this will last. So we're talking about bands, we're talking about songwriters, we're talking about musicians, we're talking about clubs, we're talking about record companies. Do you think they can survive this whole episode? Do you think music will remain the same after COVID-19? And you as a consumer, many productions have halted for the time being. The good news is that China has started broadcasting the shows that they always do. They have this these musical shows that they do, like a contest, like American Idol, but they do it in another way. They always started like a couple of months ago. They kind of contain everything, make sure everybody's safe, and they shot it in the studio. So there is still this thing going on in China, and I believe Taiwan right now is more relaxed in a way where I'm not sure they have the pubs open. I'm not sure that they have the clubs open. But I know that they are starting to allow people like less than 5, to gather together, so you can actually do a band practice or a recording in the studio. In Singapore, there's absolutely no way to do that, and Singapore have, the sad fact is that Singapore itself has very little places for musicians to ply their trade. The little clubs that we have that caters to the foreigners or to the local people have all been shut down for many weeks now, right? And it will remain shut down until God knows when. But in the meantime, these musicians are all out of work, and there's no pay coming in because the clubs will probably terminate their employment there and then. Um, they've been playing music all their lives. What are they gonna do, right? And internationally, like guys like you who are staying in America or in the UK or even as far as Ukraine or Canada, you will have bands like that, and what's gonna happen to them? Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right, Dennis. The older ones are the ones that are mostly at risk because of age, right? As you grow older, your organs starts to fail you, and that's natural. And that's the diabolical thing about this virus. Hi, Jim. Well, good to know, Alvin, that you're 41. Right? Yeah, I mean, live streaming and all that can only um, do so much. Are you guys monetizing your live stream? Do you have like options for the viewers to tip you or anything? And it's even hard for me, like if to go through that option, like say for example a Patreon page. I just started a Patreon page, but it's kind of hard because I can understand that people are suffering everywhere. A lot of them are out of work. Some are still working. They're working at home. So these are the guys who are better off. Yeah. So in Singapore, it's a bit of a different culture. We have to think about uh, what's going to happen after this. We just can't live stream forever in Facebook and doing it for free, right? I saw Imperative reaction in 2008. I love to support bands, but have always just preferred to stay home anyway. I buy vinyl. It supports my lifestyle as a hermit. Alvin. Yeah, I know what you mean. I understand totally, brother. I understand totally because I'm just like you in many ways. In more ways than one. I think once the vaccine is developed, we will slow and steady go back to normal. Yeah, I can only hope for that, Dennis. Hi, Super Melodic. What's up? We are fortunate to be paid for these online concerts, but for both us musicians and consumers, we need to do the real thing. But it's great if you get paid to do all that. A lot of musicians don't get paid to do live streaming. Not at all. Worship United. Well, wow. My collab channel is just struggling. My other YouTube channel is not so much. But being a Christian channel, people just want to watch battle elevation. Shouldn't be concerned, correct? Yep. Shouldn't be concerned. Just do what you're supposed to do. Or what your heart tells you to do. Shouldn't be concerned. Adriano, is it rude to ask how old I am? No, it's not rude at all, Adriano. Why do you think so? It's rude. I'm 60. I'm going to hit 60 come October. October 27th, that's my birthday. So in case you guys want to buy me a new GNL guitar. Okay, come October, I'll be 60 officially. Right. Dennis, I do believe people from now on will have a toilet paper just in case. Oh, yeah. All right. Yes. Toilet paper. Yeah, toilet paper. That really gets me. It didn't happen just in the States. It happened in Singapore too. Um, don't people know about water? Right. Chucky, I was trying to share a link for the new lockdown version of Blue Oyster Cult Godzilla. Check it out. Okay, cool. I'll check it out later. Have you shared the link yet? WJTO, Fender Japan, Fender Japan. George Thompson, I feel like some sessions were already moving online, less big studio gigs. Yeah, yeah. I was already doing like some sessions online. You know, way back. I even had productions where my engineer in Shanghai is mixing for me remotely, and I'm hearing what he's doing online. We can still do that in production, but when this whole thing happens, it fits off one another. You come up with new CD with new music, and then you tour, and then you come up with new CDs and then you tour. But when you start touring, what's the point of coming on CDs? And CDs are not cheap, I mean, albums, right? You need songwriters to pay them, session musicians, arrangers, producers, studio, So we can't do one without the other. So after the release of an album, you tour. And then an album, and then you tour. But now, there's no touring. So we do not know how long this is going to last. Okay, Mark. How are you, Mark? Sweetwater replaced my Sky. Oh, cool. That's great. That's mighty awesome of them. It was definitely some kind of grounding issue. Yeah, the new one's perfect. Yep, cool. Happy for you. Ready to go. Adriano, Chuck. Oh, okay. Just prepared. Okay. Super melodic. No vaccine for me. They are the enemy. Believe it. So you don't believe in the vaccine, even if the vaccine is available to you, you won't take the vaccine? How about the rest of you guys? Will you take the vaccine if it's available to you? What do you think? How do I address you, Worship United? Kind of strange to address you as Worship United. You must have a name. I don't get your question. Audio quality, not to mention the videos. Dismiss audio quality. What do you mean by that? That they are what? I still sorry. It just escapes me. What's the question? All right, Alvin, you will take the vaccine. Hi, Bill. So you'll take the vaccine if you're high? All right, okay, Mark, I hear you. Oh, okay. Andrew, businesses are opening back up where I live in the US. There's no guarantee an effective vaccine will be able to be invented. We can't live in a bubble forever. Yeah, you're right, Andrew. Um, you know what? It just sucks to get to be sick. You know, um, you know how it is even with the common flu. It just, yeah, it just sucks to be sick. But it sucks even more if you know that you're gonna get sick and you might just die, and die in a way that is quite horrible because you can't breathe. You know, so it's a bit frightening for a lot of people. And yeah. Anyway, people say the same about flu shots too. I used to be one of them, but I've been taking them now for several years with no side effects. Okay, cool. I don't discuss things like vaccine or other stuff with YouTube professors. Worked myself 20 years in chemical and pharmaceutical R&D. All right, Adriano. How long did it take you to perfect your swells using the volume knobs of the guitar? Were there any exercises that helped you? It's well, the saving grace that I have is because I have long fingers. So when I'm okay, you see me, okay. So when, like, this is like a set, a tally, right? So the volume knob is pretty far away as compared to a strat. Yeah, even further than a strat, right? So for me, it's a question of using my pinky and if you want like faster passages, you probably have to use a volume pedal. This is really good when you want some atmospheric stuff, you know. You know, it works, and it's a matter of coordination with your left and right hands, and kind of knowing how far can you roll off with your last pinky. I use a combination of my third finger and my last pinky. You know, if you notice, I'm kind of grabbing it at the top here with my third and second finger, but most of the rolling is done with my pinky. And I have my right hand, on the bridge to kind of mute the unnecessary strings. Yeah, Bill. Sorry, I missed. Yeah, worship. I still don't get your first name. Even if you do survive the virus, there's a big chance of having permanent damage to your lungs. Yeah, exactly. Is it possible to make that one safe and pleasant and fine? I have the laws of sandpits, no one can sure, and no one can sue for damages. Cause wow. Thank you, Bill. That means a lot. Yeah. Thank you, Dennis. Alvin, on the topic of swells, are you a fan of Greg Koch? Yes, he's a phenomenal player and he's funny as as can be. He's so funny. He's a great entertainer, and he plays. That guy is like, he's so good. What I think is really hard. What I think is really find hard for me is the possibility of getting my loved ones. Okay, swells, very cool. Thank you. Thank you guys. You're so kind. Mark, you make it look easy. Must have taken tons of practice. It's very effective. Yeah, I mean, what you can do, you can just, do like fret on a hammer on a note, and just concentrate on doing this without any muting or anything. Just get the hang of it. And any muting you need to do is on your left hand, right? And then don't be afraid of like doing swells. Swelling and sliding, like, And if you're more adventurous, you can even do like slides, right? Something like that. Although I recommend that you mute the rest of the string with your right hand if you're doing slide. But if you don't want to be too adventurous, you just do, and do what you normally do in your left hand, like bends and stuff like that. You can even do chords if you want. Okay, RC. I just bought a Harley Benton T52 because good for you. Chucky, cool swells. Watch Royal Buchanan on YouTube. He saw us. Oh yes, it's even more effective if you have like a distortion kick in. Hi, Buster. So now that I know your name. Okay. Where are we now? Sorry. Kuswell. Adriano. Yeah. You guys can blame me. Dennis. I totally agree. God wants to call me home, ready to go, but don't want my wife to go through the pain during. Yeah. I agree with you. Then I agree with you. The hardest thing for us as fathers, as husbands, for those of us who have loved and who have been loved, is to lose someone that we love. I think that's the hardest thing of all, right? Kevin, for Indonesia, I presume. Is Telecaster good for jazz? Yes. Depending on your pickup configuration, if you're gonna have the traditional Telecaster with the Telecaster pickup for the neck and the Telecaster bridge, probably not so. But you can still get by. It's just a matter of toning. Like this is an A set, right? It's generally have the but then I have a humbucker here. So with the humbucker here, and if I just kind of like do some adjustment with my tone control. You can get by. You can get by with jazz if you want. Sorry, I don't play jazz. Right? So yeah, Telecaster can do jazz even with the with the neck pickup of a Telecaster. But the bridge pickup might be a bit tricky for jazz. So you might want to change your last pickup to a humbucker, or both to humbuckers. Bill, unfortunately, I've had valley fever, double. Oh, wow, pneumonia and legionnaires. Oh my good lord. So I'm compromised, so to say, but not the type to slow down. You have to be careful, Bill. All right. It's quite. There's some. It's quite something that you have there. But yeah, you okay now, Bill? Bill, are you like healthy? Are you exercising and stuff like that? Do you get around? Buster, okay, it is worship. Okay, I was just wanting to ask you some Christian-related questions to my one channel, especially geared towards Christian. Yeah, ask away, Buster. Just ask away. Whatever question you just ask me. Yeah. Veromations. Oh wow, those swells with the slight sound tasty. Okay. Alvin, I'm gonna turn in now, John. Thank you for making this night way better than your live session. Looking forward to your next video. Sure, Alvin. Good night. Mark, That sounds better to me than the volume pedal or any auto swell on effects pedal. Sounds like maybe you have more control with the Oh yeah, definitely. You could even if I shut down everything, it's just the reverb. And the fact of the matter is that this work with the volume pedal just work just as well as mine. But with the volume swell, you can actually kind of like adjust it in such a way where it doesn't go all out. And because I tell you what, it's all in the head. Because when you're doing a volume swell with your right hand, and you know that you are limited because you can't do like real fast, and a lot of it depends on your left hand and how you are hitting the strings and how you're more aware of muting the rest of the strings. So it makes you work kind of harder on your left hand. I hope this makes sense. Whereas if you're using a volume pedal, chances are you'll be like playing it like how you would play, right? And then using the volume pedal. And sometimes you get careless because in your mind you're not registered as doing volume swell on the right hand. You're just doing a volume pedal thing. So it's all in the mind. But you know what? You can actually do this I can do this just as well with the volume pedal. But I'm so used to doing it in my hand. Yeah, that's the truth of the matter. Is there a neck shape that you believe works best for someone who has shorter fingers? Yeah, the C, more than C. The thinner it is, the easier for you because then you won't have to wrap your hand around it. And if you're shorter, if you're shorter fingers, there's less space to cover, so it's easier for you. And because it's thinner, you can just stretch out a little bit more, to reach the lower notes. But if you have short fingers and you have, like, say, a D or water stout necks, then you're gonna have a problem. Hi, Ken, from Ohio. Is everything fine over there, Ken? All good in Ohio? Cool, Bill. That's great to hear. Cool. Awesome. Yeah, I mean, just in this period, just make sure that you take enough stuff that keeps you healthy. I'm so guilty of that because of my irregular sleeping hours, and sometimes my eating. I'm so not disciplined, but many things I'm quite well disciplined. I have to wake up and remind myself to take my lemon every morning for my vitamin C. I mean, pure lemon, and to take my supplements if I can remember. But sometimes you get caught up in work, and you tend to forget. But I think it's the heart that really matters, because if you're not stressed, then you're pretty okay. I guess stress and fear and stuff that makes you think a lot would do more harm than anything else. And eating a healthy diet, that's most important. I'm so unhealthy right now. My diet is so unhealthy because we eat everything that that we can imagine because we're so bored at home. My wife has cooked so many dishes that I'm eating repetitions of it. But I'm not complaining. I love her cooking. So maybe I just eat a little bit more than I used to. Right? But I'm trying to curb myself to like 2 meals a day, and that's it. Sometimes it's pretty hard because the cooking is so good. Yeah. So I mean, watch your diet and watch your intake in terms of vitamins and stuff like that. And you'll be fine. Hi, Alan, from UK. Which part of UK, Alan? Jetpack does a lot of volume swells too. Oh yes, he does. Hi, Hatin, fellow Singaporean. Your last name is Smith? Okay. So, are you expatriate or what are you? Our YouTube community admin, keep the noise down in there and respect the YouTube community and streamers. Sure thing. Okay. Oh, okay. Good to know, Alan. Good to know, Ken. Alan, Bill, I have small hands and short fingers and find thin white radius neck the best option. All right. Glad to hear that too, Bill. Ajandro, AI, Switzerland is watching. Okay. Yeah, I heard something in the news recently about Switzerland having the Singapore flag being projected on the Alps or something like that. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's one of the countries that I want to visit. Hopefully in the near future. Oh, Alan, you're in Chester. Cool, cool. Are you guys still in lockdown, or is it more relaxed right now over there? Dennis, you only eaten one meal a day for years. It started when I get up and my good lord, no way, one meal a day. Wow, that's something incredible. Tried the new electromatic Gretsch guitars. I think they're nice. No, Buster, I'm not really a fan of the Gretsch guitars. I know for a fact that a lot of worship bands or guitarists, they favor the Gretsch for the way they look, but I find them not to be really versatile. Franco Ferriaro, ciao, ciao, come sta, Franco? Ian, Alan, I'm in Birmingham. My wife is in Chester. Wow, cool. Buster, I have a Gretsch. I like it. Wales is still in lockdown. Uh-huh. How long more, Alan, do you reckon the lockdown will remain? Any news from the authorities? Dennis. So you just eat one meal a day, and when you wake up, you just kept on eating until you go to sleep. That's what you meant. One meal a day. That's a good one. I'm learning something new every day. Yes, Ian. I know. It's always been that way with the British culture since World War II, right? Yeah. That's the thing about the British people that I admire. I just hope you guys are, I wonder what you guys do every day. Like, if you don't work at home, or you work at home, what do? You do 9 to 5, office, wherever, same thing. Like, you get online from 9 to 5? Or are you able to, like, sneak off a couple hours and do your own stuff and, maybe show a face every once in a while in a meeting? Hi, Roberto. How are you? Another 2 weeks. Okay, 2 weeks. Well, you fix sailboats and make YouTube videos. That's pretty cool. Buster, that's pretty cool. So I presume you stay near the sea? Yeah, you should, right? You stay near the sea. Which part are you from? Where are you from? Hey, Franco Robato. I mean, I presume you guys are in Italy, right? So, is everything better now? Is the situation better in Italy? Oh, okay, Alan. No rest. Poor thing. Okay. Oh, Dennis. Yeah, you got it made, man. So I guess you're quite all set. And what do you plan on doing when now that you're retired, Dennis? What do you plan on doing now that you're retired? Oh, Ian. You're waiting. You're waiting for a transplant. Okay. Okay. That's good. That's good. Um, any news on when the transplant is gonna happen? So I could pray for you. Okay. Maybe some of us here can pray for you too. Uh, you know, when the time comes. Bill, do I tour the? Yes, I do, Bill. I occasionally tour the U.S., mostly in the casinos in Vegas and Reno. Sometimes there's this place called Mohegan Suns, in Connecticut. I played in Vegas, yeah, many times. Yeah, I do. Hi, Sean. So glad to see you live. You're my favorite player, son. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. From Mexico. Hola. Gracias, 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 gracias. Yes. My Spanish is so bad. Philip, Philip. Hi, Jonathan. Oh, hi. How are you, Philip? Are you from France? Canada? France? Buster, you okay? Used to be a studio engineer, musician, make more money fixing boats nowadays. Music and YouTube's cool. Yeah, you're living the life, Buster. Cool. Apex. Hey, John, been a fan for a while now. Looking into my first ever guitar. Hmm? Looking into an Epiphone SG Special. Think it will be sufficient enough to learn some decent rock metal riffs. You know what? I've tried the I've tried the Epiphone SG. I'm telling you, not good. Sorry, not good. If you have tried the original Gibson SG, um, not good. It doesn't. Yeah, not good. um, you know what? Instead of the Epiphone, maybe try the Harley Benton SG. They have a couple of models right now, but I think the red ones are out of stock. Actually having them send one of the SG over for review, but like I said, all the shipments have been delayed, so I'm actually waiting patiently for the SG to arrive. I think it's going to be good. Yeah. Watch a lot of this guy named. I'm working on my songs, and I've started writing a book, and had to stop due to work. So I'll be picking. Oh, cool. What book is that about? What book? What book? What book are you writing, Dennis? Um, yes. Yes, Ian, I hear you. As it must, and I have no complaints. Okay, cool. I admire your faith. It's not easy, but you can PM me if you want to, and let me know privately, and yeah, I'll pray for you. Um, sorry, Bill. What's your earlier comment? Probably missed it. You asked me if I toured the states. I did answer you. I do tour the states, but only like I said in casinos. I'm not like a full concert tour. Uh, yeah, it's like maybe a 2 show thing, or I think the maximum I did was 3 shows in various places. Like we did one in Vegas, and then we went over to Reno, and then down to Atlantic City. So yeah, but that's not a big tour. Is that a question you're asking me, Bill? Uh, yeah, Apex. But why an SG? My question is to you is why an SG? Why don't you get like the Harley Benton the Les Paul kind of thing, instead of an SG? Just that you're a fan of ACDC? Chin up, Alan. Oh, chap. Chin up. Bill, Oh, before that at 12:10, what did you ask me, Bill? Bill, I can't. Oh wait. No, I can't find it, Bill. So you want to cut and paste that so I can read it again? Sorry, I thought I answered most of your questions. Dennis, this is a fictional story about a girl that has dreams and that she doesn't understand, but will ultimately come clear and lead her in the way she should go. Wow. Hmm. Cool. Since my Okay, Buster, since my praise team doesn't play any live anymore, I started a collaboration YouTube channel, Worship United. I've done about 20 videos, have about 1,000 views in the last month. That's pretty cool. Yeah, so what's the channel all about? Like, what sort of collaboration do you do with other people in that channel? Wow, Dennis, six chapters. Wow, cool. Yes, Alan, you're right. They are neck heavy. Um, yeah. You've been a fan of Tony Iommi, ACDC, lately Greta Van Fleet. Figure SG would be right. I love the cherry red finish. Yeah, okay, if you love that shape, I can't fault you because all of us have our own preference. Like I like the Strat. I play. Tell you the truth, my first um, the first time I actually played an electric guitar full time was in an SG, but it was original Gibson SG. I love the guitar to bits. Uh, but there was one night when I went for rehearsal, and the drummer came and picked me up, or picked the rest of us up in a van, and it was pretty dark in the van. So I came into the van, placed my guitar in the corner of the van, flat down, and we picked up the rest of the guys. So the saxophone player was picked up. He went right in, and then he kind of like stepped on the SG neck. Yeah, and it broke right here. It broke. It's clean off. And that guitar didn't belong to me. It belonged to my band leader. Nice fella, he's a teacher. He's a music teacher in school, but he loaned me the guitar. He told me to take it home, so I took care of it. But he was so pissed with the saxophone player. But it was probably my fault. I should have just kept it like that, right? But anyway, we got it repaired, but it wasn't the same. Great guitar. I love playing on that guitar. Um, Fusion 2 Harley Benton. Are they any good? Yes, they are. Depending on which model you're looking for. I would I would I would ask you to maybe hold on uh, in getting a HSH until you understand what it's all about. The double, single, double configuration. Might not work for everyone. Um, like I said in the previous video, I found that guitar to be really good in the studio environment. It has its own tonality, but didn't quite make it in a live situation. Doesn't have the weight. On the flip side of the coin, you have the Fusion Pro TT, which I think is a great pickup. Great pickup. The LAF from Roswell, the humbuckers, they're pretty cool. You can split coil if you want to, and the tremolo arm, the Wilkinson tremolo arm. Yeah, I think that's a better guitar. So in case you want to know my opinion, so I just gave it to you. Chucky, I have a Epiphone SG400 that was made in Korea. It was made by Samick. Okay, Epiphones back then were made really nice. I have an Epiphone Sheraton. I love it. I love it to bits. But I had to give it away to a friend of mine. One of the best looking guitar I ever had. It's a semi-solid. Well made. It's made in Korea. Okay, what's next size jut? Where's Bill? Well, anyway, Stardance. I'm a Genesis fan. Do you like Steve Hatchet? Very much. Enjoy honest review and your great playing. Thanks. I don't trust the Vex in active acupuncturist and a healthy supplement. Okay. You don't trust the Wax? Vex? I don't quite get you there, Stardance. Uh, no, I'm not really a Genesis fan. But that guitarist that played for Phil Collins, what's his name? Gosh, I forgot his name. He plays for this other guy too. Great guitarist. How could I forget his name? Okay, I just have an episode of some sort of a memory loss here, so bear with me. Let's do a search. What's this guy name? Anyway, Daryl Strumer. How could I forget that name? Daryl Strumer. He's a great guitarist. He plays for so many people and so tasty. Buster is solely for bringing musicians together remotely to create praise music since we can't play live. Okay. So you kind of passed out. So Buster, you kind of passed out the songs to individual and they record it at their home, and then you kind of like compile them together and make a video out of it. Is that what you do? How are you able to play together as a band live? There's no way you can do it right now, right? Because of the lag. Hi, Vernon. Oh. Apex. It's never you're never too late to learn guitar. Trust me. You're never too late. You can pick things up real fast if you want to. Yes, Daryl Strummer, Joe. Thank you. You're always there to give me all the information. Harteen, hi John, for the Harley Bentons ST. How is the neck and fret? Is there any issue with the? You win some, you lose some, Harteen, because sometimes you get sometimes I will receive pickups that are really nice, like there's no sharp edges. Sometimes I'll get get guitars that have little paint spill over on some of the frets, and sometimes you get uneven frets at times. But that's far in between. Most of the guitars that I bought from Harley Benton has already been well set up. Not because I was reviewing way before they actually sent me guitars for review. The guitars that arrive are all quite well set up, and there's no sharp edges. But if you get the cheaper one, the one that I recently reviewed, that's like $99 guitar, then when you play on it, you can find out that the quality is a bit different from say ST62 or whatever they have the more expensive models. Yeah. You have an Epiphone Fire and Skull. You have a lot of guitars, Dennis. It was my first nice guitar. I've literally played it to death. There are cheap Persians in the fingerboard. I need to refer it. Maybe I will one day. Yes, you should. Alan, you're 65. Good for you. Good for you. I'm still learning to play. We learn. The day we stop learning is the day we cease to exist. In 1973, that makes it 47 years old. Oh, wow. And it still plays and sounds great other than needing a refret. Then get a refret done. Yeah, get it done. The thing about refretting is that it costs a bit, especially nowadays. It didn't cost a whole lot back then. It just started, this cost just kind of went up over the years. Actually, I wanted to show you guys. I wanted to show you guys something, but I forgot what is it. What did I want to show you? Oh yeah, this thing. Let's see one of this. This is a Zoom Acoustic Creator AC3. Very complicated looking. Jeffrey bought this, my friend Jeffrey, and for his acoustic guitar. And you have acoustic guitar emulation. You can make it sound like a dreadnought, like a jumbo Polar. You can make it sound like a 12-string. I want to hear that. And there's a target and there's a source guitar, so you can actually switch which guitar you're using. So this is target, and then you want to emulate a certain guitar. This is where you switch. Pretty interesting. I haven't tried it yet. I'm supposed to do a review of this. So you guys have any of this? Yeah, Vernon, I know how you feel. Hi, Fury. When would I do a guitar collection video? Too much work. I gotta dig out the guitars from places that around the house, and to open them up in the cases and all that. Too much work, and then I gotta keep them again, right? After explaining everything. Maybe one day when I have gathered enough guitars to warrant a video about my guitar collection. Andrew Cordell, well, let me okay, just get okay. How many guitars do I own? A lot. Lots of guitar. I wonder if you can see it from here. You can count. Right at the back of me, I can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I have 16 in this room. I have 4 in my bedroom. Was it 5? 5 in my bedroom, so it makes 21. Yeah, and I have 1 in Jeffrey's house, so that makes it 22. 22 in total. Am I right? Yeah, 22 in total. Yeah. So I said it, 22 guitars, right? Don't tell my wife. She's not supposed to know. Okay, Vernon, I use my Boss GT3 for acoustic guitar as well as electric. Cool. Yeah, that's the thing I was talking about. Like, I'm actually given the option to plug in my acoustic to my Helix if I want to. And Helix have very good IRs for acoustic guitar. I can actually make my guitar sound like something else too. But I didn't want to do it because I didn't want to have the temptation, the temptation to put in reverb or delays or chorus, because I've always believed that acoustic guitar should sound acoustic guitar, and I always find pickups that can duplicate how a acoustic guitar sound acoustically, being lined out, and some of the that's why I don't like Fishman pickups, because they don't represent the acoustic nature of an acoustic guitar. I love the Arabecs, some of the Arabecs, like for example the Anthem and some other pickups are really good because it kind of like captured the whole nuances of a acoustic guitar, how it should sound acoustically. So I try to use it separately for my acoustic guitar. I have my Arabecs Venue DI with EQs and stuff like that, just for the acoustic guitar. So for this is I don't know, this could be a toy, I don't know, but this is quite famous. It's been around for many years, and I've seen a lot of guitarists use this. This one and the other one. The other one is by, who is this by? This is another company that does acoustic guitar. It's an acoustic guitar floorboard. Gadget. Oh, it's silver in color. You guys know what I'm talking about. Where is it from? Never mind. It'll come to me. Anyway, getting on. Oh yeah, Alan and Alan, you're answering Vernon. It just gets harder as you grow older. Fingers and brain don't often work together. Yep. Busters are what? Xing A effects popular in the circle. I had an old Xing A psychedelic machine that had its unified. So wow. Well, that's a good price. No, never heard of it. Fair American, never heard of Xing A. Yeah, never heard of it. But for 2005, that's a whole lot of money for a pedal. Psychedelic machine. Is it a pedal, or is it rack mounted? Hi on the rest. Hola, hola. Yeah, I often see you in the comment section. The first time I see you in the live chat. Welcome. Hi, Brian. Yes, you're back. At church or gigs, do you ever go direct to PA from the house? And so, do you use MCAP simulators? Either standalone or combo DI boxes. With the fact of the matter is, Brian, I'm actually how should we say a line 6 guy, right? So I've been using the Helix forever, but for church, I would not bring my Helix because there's too many things. You know how it is when I go to church with my family, and after the service, I have to go lunch with them, and don't want to carry too many things. So I always try to keep it down to one package, like just my guitar. So I use my. You see, this is my fly rig. This is RK5. And this is all I use. And now the fly rig RK5 version 2 has a XLR out. So this XLR out has a speaker emulation. You can check out my reviews for this. It's pretty neat. So it's real small, and it fits into my gig bag. So I just carry it to church, and that's it. And it goes directly to the front house. There's no cabinets involved. There's no amplifiers involved. Stage volume is virtually zero. Yeah. Yes, Bill. My chat didn't show up again. I'm kind of a metal guy. Have a drummer's background and like to know your thoughts on guitar type and pickup choices. If you're still pursuing your metal music, then there are many guitars out there that will suit your purpose. There's this new heavier guitars from Harley Bentons, which looks real promising. Some of them even have like Floyd Rose and EMG pickups, active pickups. Maybe not EMGs, but active pickups, and those are really the way to go. Talking about high gain stuff, I believe those active pickups have really high gain, and yeah, it'll fit you to a T. If you're not wanting to go through the Harley Benton route, then there are many guitars out there by many brands. I'm not really a fan of heavy metal, but if I were to play heavy metal, I would I would play heavy metal with a Les Paul, or even an SG. Unless I want a low B and then I'll have a 7 string. Hope that answers your question. Ovation. Oh my good Lord, Buster. Ovation. Wow. No. I used to own an Ovation long time ago, back in the 80s, back in the 90s when I first started my studio recording. I told a story in one of my live feeds how I bought the Ovation out of necessity because the producer wanted me to play acoustic guitar in the album. Didn't like it, never liked it, just bear with it, I just bore with it, yeah. Changed it, sold it, and changed to a Taylor 520, I think, series, and never looked back since. I'm an Alter Bridge. Okay. Stevie Ray Vaughan. If you're Stevie Ray Vaughan, then you should probably get a Strat with high output pickups. That would help. But Strats and heavy metal, you should get a double humbucker for heavy metal. If you're talking about Dream Theater and all that, yeah. But Steve Ray Vaughan, yeah, get a hot strap pickup and you'll do fine. Yeah. Vernon, I used the old Dean Markley pickup. I plugged straight into GT3 with natural acoustic sound. I can ship to me if I like. Cool. That's cool. Nice. Do you like the Arabex pickups? I think you own a Taylor too. Do you like the pickups in it? Yeah, I do. I do. I've been like, um, tooting the horn for Arabex because I love Arabex pickups. You know, I think they're one of the better pickups for acoustic guitars. Mm. Look like we are really international here, Joe. Uh, what? Don't tell it to my wife. Please give me her telephone number. Okay. Who are we talking about? Which who are we talking to? Whose telephone number? Anyway, Siyi, Google them. The early Robin Trowel univibe sound, highly sought after effects from Taiwan, I believe. Okay. Okay. You're welcome, Kim. Dennis, you're an SRV fan too. Cool. I have only one acoustic and two electrics, but I bought the two electrics within 3 months of each other this year, and I want to get a tele now too. I have severe GS. Can't help you if you have gas. You have gas. I had gas for the longest time until reality hits me straight smack in the face. You know. So I know that I'm not gonna get any new guitars for the near future. But I thank God that because of this YouTube channel, I can still get to play like new guitars that's in the market or any guitars that's in the guitar shop. I was so blessed to play the Heritage H535. Yeah, great guitar. Very different sounding. Hi Guitar Street, how are you? Yes, SRV used Texas Special pickups. I actually reviewed a SRV guitar which belongs to my friend Jeffrey. Love the guitar to bits. Even though it has this hot Texas pickup, it's not really high gain in many ways. And you can, if you dig in, you can have that that the grit, But it's a really nice set of Stratocaster pickups. I find clear, nice, responsive, nice tone. Hi Marco. I'm a beginner. I'm thinking of purchasing a Strat style guitar with a 1,002 euro budget. Should I get a used Strat American Standard or a G&L Fullerton Legacy? Greetings from Italy. 120 euros. Let me check. Why is it so hard? Okay. 120 euros is what is. Why is it so hard to get into that now? How much is it in? Never mind, I'll find it. It should be so easy. Why is it so hard to find the currency in my iPhone? Sometimes things just don't work out the way you want it to work out. Right, here we go. Euros 1,200. That's about $1,852. Or if you can get one, if you can get a someone to sell you a Fullerton Deluxe, right? You have two choices. You can get the G&L, go for a G&L. You can get a G&L Fullerton or a Fullerton Deluxe. So it's very different in terms of the quality of the wood and everything. Just pay a little bit more for the Fullerton Deluxe. Go for it. If you're looking for a Strat, you are looking for a Strat, right? I'm beginning to think of Strat style. Yeah, you could get the S500. I recommend that you get the X500. Beautiful guitar. Instead of the Legacy, because of the MFD pickups, get the S500. Yeah, whether is it a Fullerton Deluxe or not. Just get a Fullerton S500 or a Fullerton Deluxe S500. Okay, I said it. Hope this helped you, Marco. Dennis, yeah, I agree about the Ovation. I had a friend and he had one. The first one, man, I love it. And today they're not that good in my opinion. So no offense. Yeah, I mean it was good at that period of time. Everybody was like, "Whoa, fiberglass!" A real different saw a composite for his body, and everybody was going, "Whoa, it sounds really great," but it just sounds really plastically. Sorry, yeah. But it was one of the first guitars that features a light out in its entity, right? It's in entirety. So it appeals to a lot of people, and I believe Steve Lukather used an Ovation acoustic on stage. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, billionaires versus you and me. Wow. Oh, wow. Favorite top wood for acoustic? Sika spruce. Sika spruce. And if I'm going for a darker sound, mahogany all around. Mahogany side, back, and top. Yeah. But for a clear sounding acoustic guitar, I'll still stick to the try and true Sika spruce. Thank you, Marco. Thank you so much. You say I have 21 guitars, but don't tell it to my wife. I say, oh, okay. You know what? I think she knows. I suspect that she comes into my room and do a count, stock count of all my guitars. You know. Yeah, 1002. Yeah. You can probably get yeah, Marco. You can get a Gina guitar, S500. Bill, thank you for your feedback, Jonathan. You appreciate. Need to come to California. I have 3 godchildren in California, in LA, and a couple of friends who stays nearby. I would love to go back to California if I can, but not in the near future, I guess. I love LA. Yeah. Thank you for okay. Marco, make sure you get a strap with 9.5. Yes, Marco, the GNL has a 9.5 fret radius. You may not be too comfortable with the 7.5. The 9.25 is really, or 7.25. The 7.25 is a bit a bit of a challenge if you haven't set it up correctly. But 9.5 is nice. Or is it 9.25? I don't want, I'm getting confused. Joe Percher, what would you suggest is the best way to learn guitar, to learn to play lead? I've been playing rhythm for 55 years. Good for you, Joe. You know what? You'll probably make a good solo player if you've been playing rhythm all these years. Part of the joy of playing guitar for me is to play rhythm. And in contrary to what a lot of people think, that I enjoy playing solo more. No, I actually like to play rhythm a whole lot more because I like to move, I like to groove, and it's about putting something into the music. Putting some of your trademark into your music. And the rhythm parts that you play are really important. And that's one of the things that I discovered in my years of listening to music. So you probably have the rhythm thing down, basically. So it's about you getting comfortable with the whole different concept of putting solo lines on the fretboard. And for 55 years of playing rhythm, you probably know your way around the fretboard. So you have an advantage over many guitarists out there. The only challenge that you have is, in terms of playing, are little things that you need to know and get used to, like the slurs, the bends, the double stops, all those little things, little nuances, chromatic, or the scales and stuff like that. But once you get it down, the next thing that you're going to have a bit of a challenge is your effects. Stuff like distortion, delay, reverbs, and whatnot. Once you get around that, you're good to go. So don't be discouraged by the fact that you haven't been playing solo. There's always a time to start. On the flip side of the coin, there's a whole lot of guitarists who just play solo and can't play decent rhythm at all. I've heard a lot of them, right? Especially young players who spend hours shredding, but when it comes to jamming with a band, just can't sit in the pocket. You just can't play in time. So be encouraged, brother. All right, Joe. Vernon, I like low output pickups for strat and tally. They give great vintage tone and gain. Sounds great. You're right, Vernon. I begin to discover that, uh, if you can't tell by now, I'm a rocker, so I tend to rock out a bit more. But as I grow older, I find discover that not all high output pickups are good. I guess when it comes to tone, it's either the medium output or the low outputs have the best tone. The only thing that you have to get your way around is the fact that it's a low output pickup and you tend to generate a little bit more noise. And that's about it. And you need to crank up your gain just a little bit more to get it kicking. So that's about it. That's the only drawback. But for the stuff that I play, I would prefer to have a medium to high output because I need to drive the gain section of the amp. Right? Hope that makes sense. Hmm. Yes, Vernon. I'm still trying to get my hands on a Legacy Special. No, no news yet. No joy. Brian, yes. Still getting my tally though. Just need to convince my wife. Any advice? You must be expert by now. Watch that video I did. You're the second person to ask me. The other one that asked me was Tim. Yeah, from Tim and Tina, right? So he asked me the same question, and I point him to this video that I did about reasons to tell your wife when you are procuring a new guitar. Okay, I'll send you the link. Second time I'm sending this link for this video. Let me see now. Where is this? Spare me for a while. It's kind of hard to find when you're looking for it, because I have like 200 plus videos right now. So to get to one video is like a needle in a haystack at times. Where is it? Can't find it. Why? Oh, there you go. All right. 5 excuses. Yeah, 5 excuses for getting a new guitar. Okay, I'm gonna put it here. The link here. You can take a look at it. All right. LAS Music. Hi, Jonathan. What are your thoughts on the Harley Bentons CSC24T with P90 pickups? Ooh. The P90 pickups are noisy, right? And the CST24T are great guitars. They are more suited for humbuckers. They are more suited for, as a rock guitar. Great guitars. Well made, built like real solid. Great sustain. But I'm not too sure about having P90s on them. Yeah, I'm not too sure about having any single coils on them. They're just built for humbuckers, in my opinion, right? You just billionaires. You just bought a all mahogany. Love them. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. If you want that the particular sound, the mahogany is the way to go. Okay. Guitar Street. I'm looking for a tally. What are your thoughts on a G&L Frozen Deluxe A set Blues Boy versus get the Blues Boys? Get the Blues Boy. You won't regret it. Get this one. Get this one. Such a great sounding guitar. I love playing on my blues boys. You know, it's always a joy to play because the neck is so easy, and the fact that it has a rosewood fretboard, it does have a different character to it, a different feel, not in terms of tone, but in terms of feel. You know, it just feels good. Right, so get a blues boy. If you have the money to spend, get the Fullerton Deluxe because you know everything is like kind of rounded, and the choice of wood that they use is really nice. Right. Gina should pay me for this. I'm not pushing the guitarist whole night. Yeah. 7.25 necks are hard to play. 9.5 are higher, much easier for learning to play on. Yeah, yeah, right. For me, I like the 7.25. Okay, I find I actually bend easier with 7.25, and chords are easy to play. But you have to have that. You have to be comfortable in playing at a little bit higher action than most guitarists have. You know, so that if you lift up your action a little bit higher, you won't fret out in a higher register on a 7.25. But if you're so used to playing with low action, then 7.25 is not for you. Hi, Kenneth. Where are you from, Kenneth? Mr. Anderson, where are you from? Dave Durano. Because of you, I bought my second Harley. Will probably be a third soon. Okay. Yeah, blame me. Blame me. Nickel pickups sound best to me. High output ceramics are too harsh. You're right. You're probably right. But I like ceramic pickups. I know you tend to get the ice pick sound every now and then, but it's just the general tonal quality of ceramic pickups. They have that slight boost, or rather flat response in the mids. You know, so it's not scoop like most Nickels are. You know, so I like that mid range, and I rather have it than not have it because I rather cut than to boost your mid range. As to pertaining to the ice pick sound, you know, it all depends on how you're picking. These are all ceramics. These are the MFD pickups, right? These are all ceramics. But sounds great. You know, I love the tone. guitar just sound great, you know, whether it's like clean, distorted. So the ceramic pickups are really something else, you know. Like I said, the mid range. And if I were to do like, you know, like a simple it sounds a bit different on the RK5 because the RK5 is a different animal altogether. I find that the RK5 has a sort of it doesn't allow my guitar to kind of like project out in a way that it does on the Helix. That's the only drawback about RK5. Less highs, you know. So I have to boost my highs, my on the treble, on my EQ section to the max. I'm still not having that crystal thing happening. So it sounds great in the Helix. You know, unfortunately, I haven't found a way to play on OBS, Streamlabs OBS with my Helix, or else you can actually hear it, you know, coming out from the Helix, which would be the ideal way. You know. And sound to me is everything because I get inspiration from what I hear. Yeah. All right. So you guys just stop talking. What happened? Is there a lag? I hope not. Okay. So yeah. Would I prefer S500 before a Comanche? Well, Andrew, if I do not own a Strat, if I've never owned a Strat, I would go for a S500, and then I'll probably buy a Comanche much later on. But since I've owned like a couple of Strats, I would get a Comanche, and that's what happened to me because I actually bought the S500, and then great guitar. I love the feel, I love the sound, but it just sounds too much like a Strat, in which I have a lot of Strats, and that's why I changed it for a Comanche. You know, I'm glad the shop allowed me to change it for a Comanche, which I never regret. I love this guitar so much. So if you were to buy, say, a guitar that is like a great guitar, it doesn't, and you're not really bothered about whether it's going to be like a Strat sounding guitar or anything, then just get a Comanche. Great guitar, great value. Okay, enough plugging for GNL. Dennis, Jonathan, you hit on a topic. I used to go to guitar stores and almost always find the guy who plugs in to the amp and start sharing the changes guitars, his amp, and play the same thing. Oh yeah. Yeah, we've seen some of those in our lifetime. Oh, you guys have already gone on. Why am I so late? Oh wait, where am I now? What are you guys talking about? Okay, who are we talking about, Dennis? I used to go to a guitar, almost always find a guy who plugs in the amp. Oh, okay. Yeah, we get guys like that all the time, you know, in the guitar shops. Hi, Brian from UK. How are you? Oh yeah, I remember you, Brian. How are you doing? Alvin, for the cheaper Harley Benton around 100, was the quality of the wood, body, and neck bad, or mainly just a setup in hardwood? Well, you can actually tell that you get what you paid for. All right, Alvin. The fretboard, I believe, is, I forgot the name of the wood of the fretboard. It's not a common wood that we would use for fretboard. In fact, it's a bit purplish in tint. Feels okay, but I guess the guitar was pretty dry. The fretboard is pretty dry. I don't know. I haven't had a chance to oil it up because I gave the guitar to a friend of mine who needed a guitar to record. So he's keeping it right now. So I didn't have a chance to kind of like do a makeover on the guitar even. The pickups are fine. I find the pickups are really okay. Frets on the side are a bit sharp, but nothing too serious. You know, you can just file it off. Overall look fine, black, really metal looking, right? The surprising thing is that the bridge, the tremolo bridge, even though it's kind of like you can tell that it's not really that high grade, kind of cheap looking, but it works flawlessly. It stay in tune, and that was the thing that boggles my mind. With no lock-in tuners, okay? It's just a generic set of tuners, and it just stays in tune. So what can you say? So it doesn't mean that a cheap guitar is bad. Um, it's just that how it's been set up before it arrives, and whether you have any knowledge of simple setups. Through the years, I've gathered like ample knowledge on how to do a simple setup of my guitars, and of course I have guys like Wayne and to help and to ask questions, and they're so helpful. They'll teach me to do those things, maintenance. Yeah. The basswood, right? The body is basswood. So basswood is cheap, and that's what Harley Benton has on most of the cheaper models. But they're okay, I own a couple of basswood, like the Telecaster, the Black Paisley is basswood. Sounds great. You know. Apex, any plans for more biking videos to Singapore? Definitely the country I love the most while in the U.S. Navy. Such a beautiful place. Got in trouble visiting Orchard Road though. Yeah. Most sailors do. You guys are the worst. I remember one time when I was playing in the clubs back in the 80s. We're talking about like 85, 86, maybe 87. And the aircraft carrier came. U.S. Navy was flooding the whole of Orchard Road, where this where out, where everything is. And a whole lot of them came to the club that I was playing in. And they were causing a whole lot of ruckus and trouble. And luck has it that the New Zealand Army was in town too, and they were here for a training exercise. And we have the U.S. sailors and the New Zealanders. It turned out to a full brawl in the club. Pretty interesting. And we were on stage playing, and they were like fighting off stage, and the MPs came. Yeah, quite an experience. And you guys are the worst. You guys were like everywhere. Every time the U.S. Navy comes, you'll be in places where the red light districts, the club areas and stuff like that. But a lot of you guys are really well behaved, courteous. But some of you guys, after alcohol, you guys are like monsters. Anyway, that's what we are. Charlie Anderson, good. You're not late in Vancouver. Okay, totally understandable. Welcome. You're not too late. I have about what? How long should I have? Okay. Maybe an hour more, or maybe half an hour more, and then I'm done. All right, Kenneth, Mr. Anderson, you're in Oxford. Bill, I'm trying to introduce my son who has long fingers to music. This is our first electric guitar. So for Harley Benton models, which is the best for hard rock and blues? Get you know what, Bill? Take my advice and get the Fusion 2 TT. The Telecaster, the one with the Telecaster shape with the tremolo arm. Get that instead. Yeah. You might not be used to what the HSH had to offer, even though the HSH have nice colorful variants to it, But if you're talking about a barrel guitar, I think the the HSH, the Fusion Pro TT is a better choice. All right. Yeah. You told me. I think you came to one of my live stream before, Kenneth. Yeah, from Cape Town. Brian, my blues boy, ceramic. Well, not really. Are the humbuckers, the neck pickup, the humbuckers and the neck pickups are not ceramic. They're Aneco 2, if I'm not mistaken. But the bridge pickup is a typical MFD tele pickups, ASAP pickup. So those are ceramics. Yes, Vernon. It gets better with age. Yeah, some good guitars get better with age. Like good men. What's this? Yeah, Z coils have great mid range. Oh yes, it does. The Z coils have great pickups. You know, I was actually very surprised, pleasantly surprised. I've seen the Z coils before, and a lot of people tell me that they look ugly, but for me, I thought it was pretty cool, the design. And I know why it was made or designed that way. You know, and I appreciate the fact that it's noiseless. Well, not really noiseless, but quieter. And the fact that it's great pickups, great tone, great mid range. Dennis, I've been looking for your wife to come in and tell you to yell at me for playing at 4 a.m. I'm in my studio, so it's pretty like well sealed up. You know, I have a lot of, in case you haven't noticed, I have a lot of um, what do you call that, soundproof material all around. And I'm not playing that loud anyway. Chucky. Um, okay, Vernon, you like GNL better than high-end Fenders all day long. Oh yeah, I'm like a GNL fanboy, all the way, all the way. You know, I guess I probably will not buy another Fender for the rest of my guitar playing days. It's just GNL for me right now. You know, they're that good. You know, Alvin, changing my phone got you connected to my PA. Phone is behind turntable. Cool. Do I sound good? Is there enough bass? It's all about the bass, you know. Marco, who was the one guitarist that inspired you the most, John, and why? Oh, um, Steve Lukather. Um, I think the reason why Steve Lukather is so influential among the guitar playing community is because of his immense vocabulary. Because he can play all sorts of genres, from jazz to rock. He can shred with the best of them, um, and his accuracy, you know, his impeccable timing and his phrasing is the thing that gets me all the time. And there'll be times when he plays a single phrase, even though it's at 4 bar, you know, or even a 2 bar fill. You know, I'll go like, what did he do there? You know, it's like it makes sense emotionally when I listen to that piece of music, and it just makes sense and it kicks in and go, what did he do? You know, and I would spend hours trying to figure out what he does. And but like all guitarists, there is a fix. Well, not a fix, but certain things that you go back every now and then. And Steve is no exception. You know, he goes back to certain licks that he plays all the time. But every time he goes back to a certain lick, he will try different approach to it, and maybe finishing off differently. And that's the inspiration for me as a session guitarist. And because he's a session guitarist, I can't understand what he's going through. In fact, I aspire to be a session guitarist because of him, because of his influence. And once I get to recording situations where you sometimes you repeat your own solos, I come to the point that I have to learn what he does, and to do little things and never play the same thing. Even though you go back to the same motive, you go back to the same way, the same sort of riff that he's doing, or the same lines that he's doing, but you approach it in a very different melodic way, and that's why I like him so much, right? And I believe Steve Lukather has his influence, or rather is being influenced by guys like Larry Carlton or Jay Graydon. And Jay Graydon is the master, when it comes to he's called what, Mr. Solo or something like that, or Dr. Solo or something like that, because his solos are all beautiful work of art. Okay, beautiful work of art, especially when he does harmonies or 3-part harmonies on his solo. And his phrasing, the way he does certain lines. And I'm a fan of Jay Graydon, absolutely. I dig his playing so much, and he's so well versed in, he plays bebop, so he has the bebop influence in his phrasing. And it's pretty cool. It's so refreshing to hear, instead of the straight rock players that we have in our lifetime. When we listen to Richie Blackmore, or to whoever we're listening to, Mount Steen and all, but they're just straight out rock. But with cats like Jay Graydon and Steve Lukather and Larry Carlton, number one, because they are studio musicians, they have the experience, and because they play blues and jazz, and in Jay Graydon's case, bebop and hardcore. He has all this knowledge, and then he's able to weave in and out in ways that I can never comprehend because I'm not as school as them, because I don't even read music, right? So what I'm listening to is just through the ears and through my heart, and I love what I'm hearing. So yeah, these are the most influential guitarists in my guitar playing days. And for you guys, it just depends on who are you listening to. I'm a West Coast fan. I listen to everything that's from West Coast. Yeah, and even guys like Christopher Cross, great guitarist. Great singer, great songwriter, but he's a great guitarist too. So there are many musicians back then that I listened to, and I get influenced by them. So, oh, sorry, Marco, you're saying one guitarist. Sorry, I have more than one. All right. Andrew Cordell, I have a Strand of Legacy, so I guess it's time to get a Comanche. Yes, you should, Andrew. Go get it. Brian, fine. Just got back from day out. We had a walk in Sherwood. Oh, Robin Hood. Some of the trees overwhelmed. Oh, I believe so. Must be beautiful, especially around this time of the year, right? So it's springtime, so I guess the forest must be really beautiful. Hmm. Brian, this is why I love my Ibanez RGA FM42 mahogany body with a maple cap and no sweet fretboard. Yeah. Chucky, right? You're a U.S. Navy veteran too, so you've been to Singapore, right? Paul, aloha, new subscriber. Yeah, welcome to the channel. I bought a Fullerton Deluxe Blues Boy last year. Love the guitar, great neck, great tone. Now I need to learn to play as soulfully as you, and you will, Paul. You will. If you don't mind me asking, how old are you, Paul? What's your age, Paul? Kenneth, GNL Comanche, 1,399 pounds. Harley Benton is for me. I'm a drummer and a basic acoustic guitarist looking for entry. Yeah, cool. Yeah, don't spend the money if there's no need to. If you're just starting out, you get a Harley Benton. You had this whole differences in price, like from one end to top end to not really a bottom end, but in terms of price, yeah. But in terms of quality, we're not going down to the dead bottom. Harley Benton guitars are up to par. They're not like real cheap, useless guitars. They are working guitars. In many cases, I could use any of these guitars for my gigs if I want to. So you had this good selection of choice to choose from. So go for it. Right? Hi Dara, how are you? Good. I was saying that I just finished my lesson, so I finished around 9:30. A good day, very productive. Play a bit of a game just now. I ate a couple of stuff, local fare. Yeah. I was talking about chicken rice earlier on. So how are you, Mr. Connolly? How have you been holding up? Vernon, it's about what, 4:15 a.m. Any news on the Relish Trinity with the clip-in pickups? You're asking me, Charlie. Have you asked me before about this Trinity, Relish Trinity with the clip-in pickups? Oh yeah, I think you did. Yeah. No luck, man. I have no idea when a guitar like that is available in Singapore. Seriously. Bye, Rolly. Good night. Yeah, you stay safe, right? Vernon, keep in mind that Leo was listening to top guitarists in his day. Yes, Vernon. Bye, Bill. Take care. Alvin, the GNL next note is smaller than Fender. I'm thinking about getting a GNL Fallout tribute. No, they're about the same. They're about the same as Fender necks. If you're talking about narrow, right? They're about the same. You can check the net width of every G&L guitars, and you can tell that they measure up almost the same as the Fender. Um, the only difference I guess is that nowadays Fender have a wider fret radius. They're featuring radius maybe as wide as 12, 12-inch radius. But G&L has a standard 9.5, fret radius, which I think is perfect. I think they hit the sweet spot, and I guess that's why they arrived at 9.5 for all the guitars that comes out from G&L. And the Fallout is a great guitar. I love playing on the Fallout. I find that the whole guitar is so responsive. It's just like a Skyhawk. Certain guitars when you pick up, you know that it's responsive, and certain guitars just doesn't respond to you as well, as good. So the Skyhawk and the Fallout are two of the most guitars that I tried. That I find responds really well. Yeah. Aptem from Russia. Wow, from Crimea. Welcome. Steve Lukather is Kenneth is my, he plays so much passion and feeling love his while my guitar journey with rendition or two live in Amsterdam. Yeah. Andrew, do you ever get nervous when playing in front of a large or small audience, or is it always fun? I seldom get nervous nowadays. Every time I play a gig, I get nervous when I'm playing with a different band. I get nervous when I'm playing with a band that I do not know, with members of the band that I do not know, because you're stepping into uncharted territory, because you do not know the temperament of each individual band members. That I get nervous because I don't want to end up in a situation where people don't like you and you don't like people, and that's a hard thing to be at. But I'm kind of blessed because I seldom had this experiences, because most of the bands that I played with, like in terms of concerts, right? Like I'm a sessionist because I'm a hired gun. I don't have a band per se, so I play with various other sessionists, for tours with major artists. And like I said, in most cases I will feel nervous if I were to be in a band where I do not know the members. But in bands that I know the members, I'm probably more relaxed, and the only nervousness or apprehension is probably during rehearsals, because that's why I do my homework thoroughly. The fact given that I don't read that well, so I kind of memorize certain things by heart, certain lines by heart, and I tend not to read and just play by memory what I learned at home. So for me, the setup time is very important. I couldn't just go on a tour with 2 days notice. I can't do that. There are people who can do that, who sight read all the time, and they can just do a gig just like that. I can't. I'm not one of them. I need to have at least about a week setup time, so I could kind of run through the songs and know that, okay, certain songs you don't have to go through a whole lot, because I can read the chord charts, and kind of know and figure out ways to go about it. But there are certain songs that have lines, specific lines, and some of the keys are in E flat and stuff like that, so you got to know your way around and memorize the notes. And some of the lines in Chinese pop music are really weird. Don't ask me why, okay? Some, not all. And some of the guitar parts that are played in some of the Chinese songs that are played by my good friends of mine who are in the session. So they are all melodious, really nice sounding guitar parts. So it's a joy to play them. So I don't get nervous for that. As opposed as pertaining to performing in front of an audience, I don't get nervous these days. In fact, I seldom do get nervous. Maybe for my first concert that I did years back, my first ever concert with another artist, I got so nervous that I just kept on wanting to poop. I just kept on wanting to go to the toilet and poop. Nothing came out. It just your intestines working out because you're so nervous. Yeah, that was the only time. After that, no. Yes, Chet. Incredible sense of melody. Tom Schultz, yes, too. Alright. Never got to Chuck. You never got to Singapore. You're in the Persian Gulf in 1986. Ooh. Yeah, come over, Chucky. Let me know. Dara, are you screw up to the top of chat, John? Am I lagging real bad? Because I see on the screen. No, you're not. I'm lagging. I'm pretty slow today, Mr. Connolly. Forgive me. Brian, I almost bought a Harley Benton recently, but turned it down because the price was good. But I decided to upgrade my urbanness, and maybe down the road get a guitar that I really want. Maybe a G&L. Good for you. Yeah, there's no rush, Brian. Many a times I've come across situations where I get tempted to just go out and buy the guitar that I thought I needed, and experience has taught me that hold your horses, sit down and think about it real carefully, because sometimes the purchase of yours could just end up being a selling. You just end up being sold to someone else because you're not comfortable with it, because you did not make your decision wisely. So just wait, and no need to rush. No need to rush, especially with the situation right now. It's imperative that you do not rush. What? Gerver, good lord. Hi, Jonathan. Joseph, okay. Hi, Joseph from Barcelona, Spain. Are you happy with your Harley Benton Fusion to HSH? Yes, I am. But like I said, I will not use it for my live work. I will not use it for stage work. I like the guitar very much. It has a distinct sound, very identifiable sound, and I love playing on it. Kenneth, I'm a gamer. Yes, I am a gamer. I'm a gamer through and through. Paul Kenny, I'm 65. Been playing for 50 years, mostly finger picking, blues, on my Guild D12. Cool. Been time to learn playing electric in my retirement. We don't retire, Paul. Musicians never retire. So don't retire. Keep on playing. Hi, Andrew, from Transylvania. Ooh, cool. Good evening. Tom. Hi, Tom. No, you're not late. You're not late. You're never late. Good to see you here, Tom. Yes, Marco. Ciao. Ciao, ciao. Vernon, I have to go. Bye, Vernon. Yeah, okay. Okay, you take care, Vernon. Joe Perger, will you buy the Fender Ultra Strat if you did not own a Strat and can afford it? No. No, I wouldn't buy a Ultra Strat. If I were to try it, I won't buy an Ultra Strat. I'll tell you why. Because I prefer a Strat that is more organic in many ways. Hum or no hum, noise or no hum. The Ultra Strats are really well made. The problem is the noiseless pickups. It's just not. It's something that's missing. I don't know how to explain it. It doesn't sound like what it should sound. Probably because of the noiseless element in the pickups. As far as material goes, they are pretty cool. A lot of appointments in it really make sense. I love the whole general design in the Ultra Strat. It's just the pickups. I would probably, if I could, I would get something close to what the Ultra Strat has to offer, but not without the noiseless pickups. That would do fine. Dennis, understand, Jonathan. I have poor vision, so I can't sight read either. I can read music and can learn a song by sheet music, but I can't sight read. Yeah. Oh, for me, Dennis, it's not about my poor eyesight. It's just that I don't know how to sight read. I was never taught. I was never taught how to read music. Never did learn. All these years. It's by the grace of God that I actually play sessions in the studio. MJ, what do you think of Epiphone Les Pauls compared to the Harley Bentons? I don't know about the Epiphone Les Pauls, but I've tried the SGs and they're not good. So I do not know about the Epiphone Les Paul, so I can't safely tell you. But I can tell you about the Harley Benton Les Paul models. They're pretty good. They're pretty good, seriously. Especially you get the higher range ones, and they're not really expensive. They're talking like about what, $300 $400 Sing, maybe about 300 US, or 400 US. Pretty good. Okay, John. I got so nervous on my first gig. I knocked over the mic and one just, oh my good lord, you did that. We've been there, done that, Tom. Been there, done that. But I was never nervous on stage. I guess I am so used. Even my first gig as my first ever gig, like in a band, I was never nervous. No, I just wanted to have a good time, and I guess that has been my motto. Every time I step on stage, is to have a good time and to enjoy myself and to sweat and to perspire. And the more wet I get, the better it is. There were times when I play in a gig, even my underwear is wet. I know that's a bit too much information, but I'll be like perspiring, and I will feel so good. The endorphin would just kick in. It's just like me cycling like for like 60 km, something like that. I'm not as tired as that, but it can get real tiring, especially if you're jumping around in the stage. There were times when I did an hour gig in the clubs back in the 80s, where I would having the same thing. I would perspire like crazy, Like I said, even my underwear is wet, but I'll feel so good, because I know that I'm kicking ass, that I was having a good time. Yeah. Oh, okay. Greetings, One Pro. Yes, how are you? Do you know anything about the GNL ASAT tribute special? Wow, tallies. If so, what are your thoughts about them? I do not know about the tribute ASAT special. I do know about the ASAT special, and I think they are really great guitars. But those are like Fullerton Deluxe, so they cost a bit more. Great guitars. Love playing on them. Especially the pickups, they have the bigger pickups, a bit unsightly if you're not used to it, but great, real nice sounding single coils, MFDs actually. What are your thoughts on Seymour Duncan's Jeff Beck? No, the Jazz SH2. Nah, I can't tell you. Brian. I can't possibly say because I haven't tried on one yet. So I have no comments on that. No vampires here, but good music. I will have wonderful conversation with you, Andrew, about your country, about the place where you stay, Transylvania, about your folklore, and why is it so synonymous with vampires and werewolves. I'm a fan. I was a horror fan. Still am a horror fan. So I will probably have good conversations with you. Yeah. All right, Alan. Good night. Thoughts on the new Spark M and app? I saw a couple of videos about the Spark M build, and I think they are really great. I think it's a great idea to have amp, having that synchronization with an app, whether it's an iPad or whether it's on the phone. It's great. It's a convenience, and in terms of sound, I wouldn't know. I can't possibly tell you because I haven't tried on one yet. And so is a Katana and the rest of the Black Star amps where we have these functions and stuff like that. They're all great. The THR has a app for that. It works great. I like the convenience. Sounded great. The THR sounded great. It's kind of expensive, but No, I don't stay aviation. I don't stay in the States. I'm living right now in Singapore. Yeah. Okay, if you have any more questions, you better ask them because I'm gonna knock off soon. I'm gonna go back to my game of Total War. About 5 more minutes. Yeah, and I'm knocking off. Wow, I've been at it for 3.5 hours, I guess. It's been 3.5 hours. I play Total War, like I said. Total War, Attila the Hun, Total War Rome 2, Total War Shogun, Shogun 2, Played the Division 2 and 1, yeah, obviously. Armor, Call of Duty, yeah. I have most of the Call of Duty games. But I had to like kind of delete some of them from my computer because it was running out of space. And I play games on my PC, not on my Mac. My Mac is strictly music and for video editing. Yeah. Night, Brian. Yes. Yes, Greg. You've been quiet. Have you been sleeping or just quietly drinking a beer? Yes, Andrew. Good night. Three minutes. Any more questions before I call it a night? Right, Dennis. You take care. Love you. God bless. Oh, Bill. Okay, one more. Do you think the Harley Benton Fusion TT-HH would be best for rock, blues, not the stretch stuff? Yes, yes, definitely, because there are humbuckers in it. And the fact why I love the TT so much is because of the humbuckers. Humbuckers sound really good. These are the LAFs, not the HAF. One of the better sounding humbuckers. And it has split cord on it. So in case you want the tatty twang, you can still have it. And if you just want to play rock and blues, and you can get by. And with the tremolo arm, the Wilkinson tremolo arm, it works perfectly. That's why I love the guitar a whole lot. Yes, Chucky. Good night. Take care. Oh, no. Oh, no, Tom. You didn't. Night, Kenneth. Night, Guitar. What? Guitar Street. John, I made a video on live streaming with OBS. Good for you, Guitar Street. Keep it up. This may help you with streaming on OBS with Helix. Okay, I will check it out. Give me the link, Guitar Street. Give me the link to your video. Night, Alvin. Night. Night, Lynn. I feel like I feel like I'm a pastor in the church saying bye to my congregation. Night, guys. Take care. Have a great week ahead. Stay safe. Wear your mask if you're out. Okay. Okay. I'll search for that. Let's copy this. All right. Okay, Guitar Street. Night, Ian. Night, Tom. Yeah, I'll catch you next week. Night, Guitar Street. Bill, do I get credit for referrals from Harley Benton? So how can we support you? Good night. Okay. No, I don't. I try to stay away from all this stuff. But you can support me if you want to through oh, I forgot to do a plug for my Patreon. I'm supposed to do this. I'm so bad at this. You can support me through Patreon if you want to. It's just like, buy me a cup of coffee every month. If you want to, right? So no pressure, there's no agenda here, Another Joe, have you ever played a Takamine Santa Cruz? Santa Fe? No. I haven't played on a Santa Fe yet. No. Is that another part of the question? Is that another part of the question, Joe? I like Takamine guitars actually. If I'm not mistaken, my friend Jeffrey has I forgot the title. It could be a Santa Fe. Is it the one with the tube with the microphone? Is that the one? Is that called a Santa Fe or is that the other one? He bought a Takamine acoustic with a pickup system that's really weird. It has a microphone inside and a tube, blue shining tube. It actually sounds pretty good. A bit sharp, maybe not a bit on the high side, but you can probably EQ that. But nice sounding guitar, very acoustic sounding. You know, even plugged in. Hi, David. Ciao. Hoagie, yes, that's a ghost in my bag. In my bag, in your bag. Ooh, there's no ghost here. There's only the Holy Ghost, Holy Spirit. David, you're late. I'm about to go off. Yeah, I'm about to chow myself. Sorry. Right, guys, I'm gonna call it a night. Take care. Please take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next stream. I'll probably drop by, or probably have a stream opening up in the middle of the week, you know, if I'm bored. You guys take care, right? Bye bye. Ciao.